Last time on Beast World, the party awaken and gather themselves for breakfast in the morning at the Crystal Fox. While there, they discuss a few things, such as their plans while they have downtime in Pristana. Zahir meets with them that morning to let them know that Trade Lord Treyarch is arriving tonight and will be staying at the hotel on the 8th floor. Vegas plans to stay at the hotel using his stagecraft disguise to conceal himself, while Vanya and Aspen plan to stay in the wagons just outside the hotel. Charlotte, Ignatius, and Aski plan to grab another place to stay in Pristana. They also make a plan to make a trip to Springbok's flight before the meeting to scout out the city and figure out where this meeting is at. Meanwhile, Aset wakes up in Veronica's apartment the next morning, having spent most of their previous day together. Veronica is slightly hungover and sleeps in for a bit while Aset prepares them breakfast. Once up, the two bond further while sharing breakfast, with Veronica discussing ideas for further date plans for the day. The group gather together and head up, locating another hotel for some of the party to stay at in the Fifth Canal. With new quarters acquired, our Delvers decide to shop around a bit, locating a very quaint magic shop called Stormsong's Emporium. Inside, they find the shop being run by a gray bovine woman who seems very astute in arcane magic. Many of the items in her shop appear to be things that Delvers have sold to her over time, and that she sells to other Delvers in return. The group exchange items, purchasing some new ones, selling some old ones, and commissioning a few to be picked up later. Vanya follows advice from Stormsong for an alchemist in time, heading to a location run by a ferret woman named Trixie. There she discovers the chaos of the potion maker's shop and the things within, but manages to come out with most of her stock of healing potions. Charlotte decides to test her luck at the Golden Pillar since Vegas had an interesting experience. Upon touching the stone, she finds her hat is filled with sand. When she dumps it out, it forms together in the shape of a tiny elemental. Witnessing this, Aspen decides to lick the pillar, but doesn't seem to notice anything different. Vegas returns to the Crystal Fox and visits Aziza once more to try and figure out what his sisters are up to. With a quick scry, they appear to be enjoying themselves in a fairly nice apartment with Vegas's other sisters, who all look like they are heading out for a swim. Aziza offers a peek into the future for Vegas, saying she sees a promising career in the SHL for him, but also a conflict with his father's legacy, revealing his history as a spellbreaker. Charlotte takes use of her new far lens to keep an eye out on the city, taking note of Veronica and Aset on their date, a group of mysterious black-clad foxes moving across the rooftop in the 7th Canal, and movement in the harbor. In that direction, Charlotte sees the Grand Pharaoh leaving his ship at the docks, accompanied by a white bull, as well as the local guards, Spada Company. Treyarch arrives at the Crystal Fox, seemingly retiring for the night, which is where I believe we will be picking up our session. If I recall correctly, Vegas, you were at the bar.
That's right.
So yes, you've seen the Grand Pharaoh enter and disappear out of sight, along with his bodyguard. What do you plan to do at the moment?
Which direction did I see them head in? Towards their room?
Basically down the first hallway that would lead towards the stairs. The same way you guys would have gone up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll, who has the other sending stone? Vanya?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
I will send to Vanya and just say, preface it with non-emergency, target sighted. And, I don't know. How crowded is this place? Is tailing them even worth it?
It's pretty busy. It's not super busy, like jam-packed, cramp, but there's people out and about. You're definitely not the only person at the bar.
Mm-hmm. I'll wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just sit at the bar and wait. I'm not gonna blow my cover yet.
Alright. I will say about 10 minutes pass, and you don't see the Grand Pharaoh return, but you do eventually see the white bull that was accompanying him. And he does come down towards the bar, and he kind of sits further at the end of it by himself.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's joining him?
No, he specifically sat at the end so that there's only possibly one seat that could be close to him, and there's like plenty of vacant space. He intentionally like distanced himself from other patrons.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep an eye on him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. $13? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary besides the bull's very ornate metal horns. He looks rather normal. Again, nothing too strange. He does have a very similar sort of like duster that like the Grand Pharaoh was wearing as well, though his is a bit more like darker in color. He does eventually order a drink or two, just kind of like keeping to himself. He is also from time to time scanning the area.
I got this guy's name from Aziza, right?
Yeah. Fahir.
What is it? Vahir.
Fahir.
Got it. Sending to Vanya. Bodyguard is sitting right near me. What do I do?
I don't know. What do you do?
Mission control help.
Keep an eye on him. Check what he drinks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then, I don't know, talk to him. See if you can find anything interesting out, though he's probably not going to share much.
Okay. Yeah, I will pay attention to whatever he's having and have some myself. I'll order one of whatever he just ordered.
Okay. Give me just a general insight check.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
Another 13? Okay. He seems rather relaxed. He is occasionally, again, looking around the room, just kind of like, not gauging people, but just kind of like assessing who's here. He's currently drinking what appears to be shots of bourbon.
Okay, easy. I'll time it, but whenever he's dry, I'll order another round for him. Try and make my way across, that way.
Like, come over, sit down once he's done with his, and order another up for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you sit in the one vacant seat next to him, or do you sit a little bit further away? There's like, I'd say 4 seats between him and the next person.
Fuck it, right next to him.
Alright.
Oh boy.
It
Alright.
can just be a new dog in like 2 seconds. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
What do you disguise as again?
Right now, Border Collie.
Yeah.
John Dogson,
John Border Collie.
Yeah.
So yeah, you sit down next to him and flag the bartender to pour out some more shots for both of you. He kind of looks you over for a second. kind of gives you a slight nod before, like, shooting the shot back.
Long trip?
For me, it is always pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
But, you don't have to do that. I get shots on the house because of my lord.
Oh yeah, you're with the big guy.
Yes, trade lord.
Very well then.
I am Fahir Korkut. Who am I having the pleasure of speaking with?
Harrier.
Harrier. Are you from Vinyo?
Yeah, I come from Arloris actually.
Ah, Orloris. Quite far, but I imagine visiting Prestana would just be a vacation for you.
Mm-hmm. And you're here on business, I suppose?
Always business. I am the trade lord's bodyguard.
Lofty role.
Yes, well, in all honesty, he doesn't need my protection. It's more of a show of force.
You don't say.
So, Harriet, what brings you here?
Harrier.
Harrier.
Well, like you said, vacation. I'm something of a gambler.
Ah, and spending all your times in one of Varasta's gambling halls.
Mm-hmm. I've done quite well for myself thus far.
That is good to hear. Usually luck kind of comes and goes for gamblers, so...
Mm-hmm. I feel pretty lucky most of the time.
Have you been to Varasta's church?
Mm-hmm.
Not many people visit the grove in the city. It is very beautiful.
It's a nice location.
It is honestly the quietest part of the city. That's why I like it.
I can appreciate that. So where are you headed after your stay tonight?
I go where my lord goes. Always by his side.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Is he here on official business?
of course. Though
I
I
should
can't
expect as much.
talk much of my lord's business, that is his private affairs.
I won't pry. And I'll quietly order another round of drinks.
Alright.
But I'm not paying for his since this is always free, apparently.
So how many drinks have you had already? Like prior to waiting or not?
A couple.
So not too
I have
many.
I have that, the resistance against
The
ingested
resistance
poisons
things,
thing.
yeah.
So
Go ahead and just roll me a general save. I think you get advantage at it.
con save, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, he kind of like chuckles to himself slightly when you like continue to like order in shots for him.
That's a gesture of good faith.
So then, where are you planning to go then, once your funds are all spent up?
Well, back to our Loris. I'll do my funny little job, earn more money, and be right back here in 6 to 8 months.
Ah, what do you do for work?
I'm a bard.
He kind of looks you over for a second. I could see that. So do you sing, dance? What kind of performances do you do?
More of the theatrical variety,
Ah,
drama and acting.
like a playwright.
Exactly.
Ah. Well, you find much work in Loris, I imagine.
Plenty. Excuse me, I need to use the lavatory. I'm buckling under pressure, guys.
He just kind of like gives you a curt nod and just kind of like returns to his drink.
All right, so I'll find a corner to slink off to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Vegas Devon, this guy's lips are tight, and I bought him a couple drinks already. I don't know what else to do.
Huh? You were friendly at least, right?
Oh, very.
Oh, maybe you can never repeat conversation another night if we're here long enough before everything kicks off. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
maybe eventually get him to leak something. Maybe, but who knows?
Right. Okay. Before I come out of hiding, I'm going to change my disguise again and assume the breed of a different dog. Post up at the bar somewhere far away and just keep an eye on him for the rest of the night until something happens.
I assume you also change your clothing because your clothes are the same.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you change into?
I'd say so, like casual, like common clothes, something that you could probably wear to bed. I'm in my comfies, basically.
Okay. And then what species did you change into?
Um,
Or what dog breed, I should say.
yeah, I'm trying to think here. Labrador.
Adorable.
Yeah. So yeah, assuming the identity of not a border collie anymore, I'll continue to survey him until something interesting happens.
Okay. Give me one more perception check.
Yeah. Jeez, guys.
Again, doesn't seem to be doing anything in particular different from earlier. He's still drinking and getting shots occasionally, but for the most part, he seems very steady on his feet. He doesn't seem to be getting drunk.
Hmm. And I saw the stairwell that the Grand Feral took up to his room, right?
Yep, there's one stairwell. You would use it to get to your room as well, and you know that
Right.
his room is somewhere on the 8th floor.
Is there somewhere that I can post up where that lets out onto the floor that I'm on right now?
What do you mean?
Like, I want to watch that exit. The exit.
You want to
of
watch the stairwell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could say there'd be like a spot like in the lobby close to where like the main entrance is. You should be able to like see down the hallway.
Okay, I'll post up there.
Okay.
And I want to keep an eye out for the Grand Feral, see if he comes down.
Alright. I'd say after how long do you sit there? What's your patience?
I'll give it an hour. I'm patient.
Okay. You sit there for about an hour. And eventually you see the bull gets up from his seat at the bar. And he actually heads out of the hotel. He like straight up leaves. So at some point he kind of like walks past you, but he doesn't seem to like make eye contact with you or even like notice your general direction.
All a part of the plan, baby. I'm tailing him.
All right. Vanya or Aspen, would any of you be looking out the wagons at any point? Like watching the hotel?
Definitely staying away from windows, personally. I don't know
Okay.
about Aspen, though.
Probably not. Not the sneakiest type, not the best for the job.
Just this looming shadow at the window.
That epic moment when the martial class has to do dexterity.
All right. Give me a stealth check.
Oh wait,
Oh.
it shouldn't, because I took my armor off. Does that? I mean, it's still a
I
fucking
mean,
three.
it's yeah. Either one of those would have been pretty bad, regardless.
Jesus Christ, guys.
So,
Whoop.
yeah, you head out, and you kind of like stumble because you like realize that he's leaving. It's like, oh, there's a chance to follow him. So you kind of head out, but you kind of like forget there's an extra step on the way down to the hotel, and you kind of like
Sheesh.
stumble for a moment. You don't fall or lose your balance or anything. But you do notice that, like, at some point, Fahir, like, stopped and looked back because of the noise.
In which case, I'm just gonna make my own like alternate path to pretend like I wasn't about to be following him.
You just, like, walking the opposite direction?
Yeah, I won't turn around or anything, but I'll like walk past him and take a turn, just to, I don't know, throw any suspicion off. Hopefully.
Just shadowing in with all the grace of a bully in a china shop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you walk, what, past him and then take a turn down, like, a different alley?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll try and like relocate him later.
He seems to just kind of like shrug and then just keeps heading on his way. He is making his way out of this canal, which I think is the 12th canal? 12th or 13th. Let me pull it up again.
Mm-hmm.
I did not write it down.
I thought it was listed on here. Either way, I know it is on the far eastern side of Rastana. But yeah, he starts heading west. How long would you wait for him to like make distance on you before you start following again?
I'd give it. Shoot, I guess I'd give it like 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe.
Okay. So you get back out and you start following again. He's probably about 60-ish feet away from you.
That's fine. I can tail that. I forget. Is that a homeland feature that I can track things, or do I have to pick a specific trait for that as being a dog?
What does it say on your character sheet?
Scent tracking. I mean, I don't have anything that he has worn, but I was just near him for a little bit. Yeah, I don't have anything belonging to him. Never mind.
It specifies that you need an object that has been worn or carried.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, I'm just gonna try and keep a tail on him at 60 feet.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception. Nice. All right. And so yeah, you start following him, and he doesn't appear to be like looking back or checking behind him any. He continues on down by, I want to say, the 8th canal at this point. You follow him for a pretty decent distance. It's around this time that your eyes pick up something else. you notice several figures moving from one of the nearby rooftops. They appear to be foxes, maybe? They are dressed in pretty dark leathers at this point, and they're moving across the rooftops, but they're stopping occasionally, and their focus appears to be on the bull.
Okay. I'll keep it. Yeah, I'll keep my tail on him, and then I'll change my appearance once again. This time, a poodle, but black.
All right. He eventually makes a turn into the 7th canal, and makes his way up to a very large, ornate building, that is pretty much has this very open, like, plaza area. So there's, like, a lot of, like, open space, and there are people here and about, some on some of, like, the nearby benches and stuff. But this space is very open, and as you notice that he heads into this area, the figures which you've occasionally spotted up on the rooftop seem to kind of like divert around. And he heads into this very large building.
Does it have a sign on it?
It does. It is listed as the Center Street Bank.
Okay, and I'm on Canal 8, you said, right?
You were on Canal 8, that's when you spotted the figures. You are now in the 7th canal.
Got it. I'll update Vanya, ascending on 7th Canal, and you said it was the what bank?
Center Street Bank.
Bodyguard just walked into Center Street Bank. Also, dark armored fox figures on the rooftops, if that can fit in one sending message.
You're fine.
Yeah, the sending studs, you could just keep sending.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the foxes, I guess. And wait outside. Don't go in. Maybe you'd lose him inside. Do you want some help?
If you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll find a bench or something on the outside to wait on. And also I will describe my present appearance to Vanya so she's not lost.
Right.
So you said
And
you're waiting out at a bench?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Norman.
is Vanya in the wagon or in the hotel room?
Wagon.
Wagon.
Got it.
Also, Charlotte, would you still be, like, watching around on the
Oh, yeah.
streets? Okay, go ahead and give me your perception check again.
With my fancy doodad. That specifically is about sight. Relying sight and conditions of clear visibility. Ooh, save.
All right.
22.
With a 22, you do eventually catch sight of that bull again, walking a bit more closely to where you're at. You see him over in, like, the 7th Canal area, and you see the figures you saw before up on the rooftop, and you also see another figure following behind the bull in the streets that you don't immediately recognize. From your view here, you get a little bit of purview into, like, the plaza area near the Center Street Bank. The foxes kind of get out of your line of sight, but you do see that the other figure kind of, like, stops in that plaza area and kind of sits down at one of the benches.
Because I am out of the loop, haha, I'm going to be watching the figure who I know out of character this is.
All right, and Vanya, what are you doing?
I'm gonna let Aspen know what's happening as I'm heading out of the wagon. Use the shift weave to change from the normal clothes to the dark clothes, so it just kind of
Mhm.
swoop, kind of fades. I guess I don't know how that would look. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, change over to the dark clothes, pull up the hood, and get up onto the roofs myself, and try and sneak on over there to see if I can find this Vegas book covered in coal.
All right. Could you go ahead and give me a stealth check?
Sure. Yeah, it could be worse.
All right. 17. You scamper up one of the nearby buildings that you figured out would be the easiest way to get to the rooftops quickly from the hotel, and start making your way over towards the Center Street Bank in the 7th Canal. Give me perception.
Will do.
You continue to make your way over into the Center Street Bank Plaza, and it takes you a moment, but when you arrive, you kind of scan the area, and you see what you think might be Vegas on one of the benches down below.
I am gonna go over the sending stone and kind of communicate the roof I'm on to Vegas over the sending stone, and see if just sort of give the, if you see me when you look away, just kind of itch your right ear.
Okay, am I able to find Vanya based on her descriptions?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
The DC is her stealth.
17. Good luck.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Nope. Okay.
So I don't see Vanya,
Nope.
but I do what she tells me to anyway.
Do I see a darker poodle scratching their right ear?
Yeah, you see Vegas.
Okay, good.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, I definitely see you.
Hello.
Just kind of hunker down and wait for this bowl to come out as well.
All right. How long will you sit?
As long as it takes.
All right. Well, several hours pass. He has not come back out yet, and it is pushing well past midnight at this point.
Vanya, I think he's meeting people in there.
You head on back. I'll give it another hour and then go back myself.
What if I went in?
It's a bank past midnight. I don't think.
What if you went in?
I'm not going to try and get into the biggest bank in the city at this time of night. What? Are you crazy?
The gang stages a bank robbery.
You gotta be a little crazy to do what we do, Vanya.
I'm not that crazy. Not yet, anyway.
Fair enough.
I can wait the extra hour. Maybe he's staying there, which would be weird, but
Do you see any of the rooftop foxes I described earlier? They were also kind of perching around the location.
I will have a look for these rooftop foxes, I guess.
Yeah, give me another perception check.
Finally. Here we go.
22? Despite getting a clear warning on them, you don't see them right now.
Oh, that's worrying. Okay. I don't see them. Not right now.
That worries me.
Did you see them go into the bank too? Or were they on the
No.
roof still?
They just kept to the roofs.
I'm gonna try and hunker down just a little bit more, just to.
So I can clearly see Vanya at this point, right?
With your perception, yeah, I'd say you would have spotted her.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
like a
keeping an eye on
22, right?
her.
Yeah. So
All right. So Vegas, you were gonna start heading back.
Yeah. Just holler if you need me, Vanya.
not a hesitation. I will straight away.
And I'm gonna stop by a casino before I go back. That's not in character. I'm saying that like regretfully as a person.
Okay. So you are heading back then.
Yeah, I'm heading back, but stopping to gamble along the way.
Okay. Vanya, how long do you sit there for?
Like I said, just another hour, just to see.
Okay. Well, so you sit there for another hour, and there doesn't appear to be any activity. The lights that are like around the bank are still like lit up, but it doesn't appear that they are like operating hours or anything like that. So, unsure of where the bull would have gone from at this point, or where he might be now. You also don't seem to take notice of any other activities on the roofs, even though you know to like watch out for it.
Well, given that and the fact that nothing else happened, I'm just going to make my way back to the wagon, but keeping to the roofs, keeping quiet as I can. And then just before I get to the right canal, hop down into an alley, swap back into the normal clothes with a shift weave, and then just kind of try and drift into whatever group of people that are around, so I can just wander out like I was never in the alley, basically.
Okay. Just give me one more stealth check.
You motherfuckers.
Okay. So, you slip down into one of the alleys, and what you get changed back into like your normal clothes.
Only when I'm near the wagon, yeah.
Okay, so not when you get down.
No. Once I get back to the wagon, leave the alleys. So the idea was to travel to the right canal, then shift the clothing as I left an alleyway into a group of people. Just so basically Assassin's Creeding and swapping clothing as I went through.
Okay.
Attempting to meld into a group and then walk through it.
Okay.
But I doubt it's that busy, so.
Well, you head out from the alley and try to immediately just kind of like blend in, but you end up running into somebody, like physically. And they kind of like, they stop and just like shout, "Watch where you're going."
Just kind of give a apologetic, like, bow, sort of curtsy, and sorry, try and vanish as quickly as I can.
Alright. You make it back to the wagon without any incident. Vegas said you were going gambling again?
Yeah, just one roulette spin and then I'm going home. Tee.
Alright, roll me a D100. I'm assuming red.
25 on red, that's right.
Yeah. Alright. You put 25 on red, and it rolls onto red.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm gone.
How do you keep getting away with this?
For now. Ha ha ha. Anyways. Charlotte, would you watch Vanya till the point that she was no longer out of your sight?
Yes.
Okay. She sits up there for a while. even with like scanning around again, you don't see signs of these Tradewind foxes anywhere. She does eventually leave her spot and appear to be heading back towards the hotel.
Finally seeing her leave, she's gonna get up, realize how late it is, and wants to go to bed immediately.
All right. Aspen, would you be doing anything in particular while Vanya was out? Like keeping eyes out or just making
Keeping
anything?
a low ass profile.
Lowest profile? Fair enough. Okay. I'm not even gonna ask for a perception check. Vanya, as you come back towards the wagons, you do see Mocha's head just kind of sticking out of the other one. Just just head sticking out, just kind of like watching.
I'm gonna go over to this is the Rio, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to the Rio. I assume I don't have a key. Sort of very gently attempt to push Mocha's head back into the Rio.
He said location system has been activated once more.
There's a little bit of stubbornness as you kind of like push against them. Eventually they do duck their head back in, and like the window just kind of like closes.
They opened it? Oh, that's worrying. Velociraptor's incoming, but it's an Oreo goat. Let's go. Giving a one last look at the Rio just to make sure that
Mocha's just watching you through the window now.
Oh, I just got an image of the slightly reflective eye light just glowing.
Yeah.
Just kind of give it a little bit of a, and then walk into the mammoth.
There you go. That
and then
gif.
let Vegas know I made it back safe. Yes.
It's like, how could you do this to me?
All right, mission accomplished. For now.
All right. And Vegas, you head back to the room.
Yeah.
All right. So, everyone buckles down for the night.
Yeah.
All right. Don't hit the long rest button just yet.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Panic.
Okay. It's set.
Yes.
You and Veronica come back from your date, essentially, at the restaurant, and return back to the apartment and essentially turn in for the night. At some point, you are very startled awake, as you just kind of hear Veronica screaming.
Oh.
You are essentially jostled awake by this. It is pretty dark right now. It is very clearly the middle of the night. She is in bed next to you, but she looks very shaken at the moment.
Veronica, what happened?
She kind of like sits there for a moment, and you can see that she's like gently clutching the side of her head at the moment, and she is crying. She's crying furiously.
Oh god. Yeah, Issa is just gonna move in immediately to like comfort her, hold her close to her. It's okay, dear. You can tell me.
She just kind of like leans into you, and she's like taking a moment to like struggle to like catch her breath because she clearly just had some kind of like nightmare. She, after I'd say about 5 minutes of like taking time to like calm down fully. She just kind of like leans against you and she's like, if it's just a bad dream that happens sometimes.
Mhm.
Just old stuff from the war.
Yeah. So that's the best. Anyhow,
I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry.
you're fine. These things happen. And she just gently strokes along the side of her head.
She initially flinches at first, and you kind of get like the reaction that she seems really like sensitive to her face at the moment.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Every time that happens, this hurts physically.
Mhm.
I don't want to like burden you with any of this. This is
No,
my
please.
pain.
If you need to share it with anyone, please tell me. I want to be here for you too.
Okay. I was a squire during the war. I was stationed over in Southwinds. I wasn't prepared for it. I don't think any of us were. We were one of
Mhm.
the first cities that were hit. We got people out as best we could, but a lot of us didn't make it. And the rest of us that tried to stay were taken prisoner. They had us work in Southwind's mines, getting metal for their armor and their weapons, so they could make more. They used a lot of us as labor, and she just kind of like gestures towards her face.
Mhm.
When we didn't comply, they had ways of forcing us to.
I'm so sorry, my love.
I just wanted to go away. I wanted to stop.
Yeah, you said it's just holding her close right now. Hand moving away from her face to just stroke along her back instead.
She just kind of like leans into you pretty hard at this point. She does seem to calm down a bit more as like you
Mm-hmm.
comfort her and such, and she relaxes, and it takes probably about another 20 or so minutes before she manages to like fully calm down and like lay back down properly in the bed to return to sleep. But she clearly
Yeah.
was very startled in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go back to sleep immediately or do you wait?
You said plants a little kiss on her forehead first, but um, she doesn't fall asleep immediately. No, she stays awake for a little longer before she actually passes out as well.
Okay. Yeah. You watch her go back to sleep and she kind of like squirms a little bit, as if she's trying to like get a bit more comfortable in like the
Mhm.
position in bed. But eventually, she does settle back down, and she
Yeah.
falls asleep properly. And with like that knowledge that she's actually getting sleep again, you do eventually return to your own slumber.
Hmm.
And now anyone can
Okay.
benefit from said long rest.
Oh boy.
Will the button work?
What if you wanted to long rest? The Foundry said.
All right. So, everybody awakes. You are all in different locations. So, what is the plan?
Yeah, I don't think he said he even knows what the rest of the gang is up to right now.
Nope.
we did mention that we were at least splitting up into some new locations before we all
Yeah.
set off into our different ways at least. I don't remember if we said we were meeting up at the new hotel or not, though.
Don't believe so.
I don't remember.
I think we had a meetup plan.
So, you know.
That's okay. Since I have the most, I can go wherever I want right now. I'll gather Charlotte from the room and go down and also gather Vanya and Aspen.
Charlotte's
Just
not in your
Charlotte's
room.
over. Yeah.
Oh wait, she's in
Yeah,
the new
Charlotte
Yeah.
is with Aski
other
and
hotel.
Iggy at the other hotel on the 6th canal.
Okay. In which case, I show up to the wagon to pick up Vanya and Aspen, and I brought fresh coffee with me.
Oh, that was already being brewed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
There's no way that's not happening.
Anyway, so I'll just drink straight from the pot. But yeah,
Death stares. Death stares the
What?
whole time.
oh yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Just wait.
Uh-huh.
And then leaves.
You can't scare me. You're like 3'4".
I've killed a few things at least twice your height.
Me too.
It's less impressive when it's only twice your height, not 4 times your height.
What do you mean? Let's go meet the others.
Riding Aspen's shoulder, because I imagine I could quite easily sit on a single shoulder of Aspen.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't have a way of reaching a set, do we?
We have no idea where a set even is.
Yeah.
Okay, well then it's just Charlotte that gets the update. Unless it sets a
you,
set
you,
and
you
singles.
can use Mocha as a compass to get her. Get to her, I'm sure.
I think Charlotte also has the sending spell too.
I do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well let's just get to Charlotte.
Okay. Oh, actually, we should see if the stones are finished. I remember,
Oh yeah.
and then we can give one to Charlotte, one to Iset,
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
one to you, and then.
But yeah, didn't
I
Stormsong say that
guess-
she'd reach out to one of us?
Oh, right. There's a few
Figured.
things being done for today, weren't there?
I figure she's busy. Let's just wait until she calls us.
Or is it just the one? I
Oh
can't
no,
remember.
I have a thing, and Aspen had a thing, and then the group has that thing.
Oh yeah, Aspen has the thing. It smirks.
Aspen also smirks.
I smirk so I don't feel left out.
What are you smirking about?
I don't know. Just blending
Good.
in.
Keep it that way.
Also, real quick, Aspen, I assume you made breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. as you're like going through breakfast and like eating everything, you seem to like notice that everything seems a little bit flavorless at the moment.
You have contracted COVID.
No.
Curse.
Oh, no.
Too real.
Curse.
Yeah, Aspen's just putting it down to, maybe not doing so great with the cooking this morning.
All right.
Let's be real. I think Aspen mostly just inhales food anyway.
All right. So party reconnects with Iski and Charlotte and Ignatius.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, we need to do a head counting everybody.
Assets
Assets.
with Veronica, right?
Should I call her?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sending spell to Eset.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, strong letter to follow.
No, this is gonna be funny because I immediately pause and like, where are we meeting? And that gets included in the message.
Here.
At the wagon. I'm trying to remember because sorry about that.
We're at the
You're at this
Yogurt-
hotel on the Sixth Canal now.
The other hotel. Okay. So the sending will be, where are we meeting? Oh, sorry. We're meeting at the Six Canal Hotel. We have updates. Come soon. And that's the message.
It's set. You're essentially woken up by this sending spell.
Fun.
So yeah, that's the first thing that happens as you wake. You're able to respond.
To a five word.
You're just sending me out of bed. Thanks. Anyway, I'll be there soon. Let me just take care of a few things beforehand. And with that, she's definitely just going to like treat Veronica to another breakfast for one, just because poor girl's had a hard night.
Yeah, Veronica's still asleep at this point. She just kind of like nuzzled up on like her side of the bed, just kind of like wrapped
Aw.
up.
Just
You make breakfast, I assume, though.
yeah, giving her a gentle pet before like getting up and making breakfast for the both of them.
You eventually like finish breakfast, and she doesn't quite stir from bed still.
Well, shit. You
She's-
check on her how she's doing, I guess, but
Yeah. She's still asleep. She's sleeping hard.
hmm.
Do you just let her sleep in, or do you wake her?
What time of the day is it?
I'd say it's probably like... Yeah, it's probably closer to like 9 o'clock.
Gently wake her up.
Okay. It takes a second, and she like groans and like stretches and gets kind of tangled up in the blanket because she really like wrapped herself
Aw.
in, burrito style. And then she looks over to you and is like, morning.
Morning. I made breakfast for both of us.
Good. I'm starving.
Mhm.
She kind of like
How are
heaves
you
herself out of bed. I'm okay. I'll be okay.
Sleep a little better after all that, I hope.
Much better than I usually do. Thanks to you.
I'm glad.
She kind of like just gives you a quick hug.
He says she's gonna just give her a little kiss in return, and yeah. also let her know that the gang is planning to meet back up at the other hotel.
So yeah, she partakes in breakfast. You do notice that she does put her mask back on, before either of you, leave.
Yeah.
I'd say, before she even starts breakfast. She's feeling very,
Yeah, very...
sensitive right now.
Yeah, I get that.
She, does eventually finish breakfast. Takes a little bit longer to get dressed, but is otherwise up and going. And you and Veronica, I assume, head towards the hotel in the Sixth Canal then?
Yeah, we
Alright.
do.
It takes about 30 minutes, I'd say, before Aset and Veronica show up.
Okay. Before they show up,
Mm-hmm.
Usky is with us right now. Is she hiding inside stuff? Because of delight.
Where's the sheep?
She
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. What is the current situation?
Group meeting.
Yeah, before
Oh boy, I
Aset
love those.
shows up,
too.
we had like a half hour, so I was looking for the sheep.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you find, the other two at the secondary hotel, and you've got a ski, probably very disappointed to learn that you did so much sneaking around and stalking without her.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the update of the night, I think, and then a promise of your own sending stone into this little group of sending stones we're gonna have.
Well, that's an encouraging thought. Makes us a little bit less separated, even if we do end up more scattered in our searches.
It lets us split up a bit, but I also thought if I was going to do any more nighttime excursions, I could get hold of you, because you make that so much easier.
Oh, I try my best.
Just to kind of smirk from up on Aspen's shoulder while we wait for a set, then. That is it.
Alright. So yeah.
Aspen's just looking full fucking minion at the moment, just quietly making the conversation happen.
So yeah, Aset and Veronica shows up, again, about 30 minutes after Charlotte's sending spell.
Normalize showing up late to meetings. 30
Yeah.
minutes late.
How does Aset look as she's joining the rest of the group? Does she look okay? Does she look like she might be different because of what happened last night? I'm trying to figure out, is there any clues that would be more obvious to the party? Or would she be pretty stoic and keep it pretty hidden?
Mostly stoic, but she's not in quite as pitch perfect a shape as she usually is. Her hair's a little out of order. Like subtle stuff.
Okay. I guess if anyone would like to do an insight check.
yes. What?
Nah, it's not something Vanya would really like.
She's grinning through it just a bit.
He.
Not full on Harry Dubois levels, but still.
Any other insights or just Charlotte?
Aspen's not gonna.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything myself, or?
No. I had a DC in mind, but for the most part, it was only Charlotte, and Charlotte did not pick up on anything.
Yay!
No Sea Fennec. Alright. So yeah. The group's all together. What are your plans?
Okay, guys, exciting update. I met the trade lord's bodyguard last night and then tailed him to the bank where he seemed to spend the entire night.
The central bank, that is.
You
Yeah.
went out and tailed one of them.
Uh-huh.
And not only that, but that was until midnight when Vegas left. I was there till maybe 1 a.m.
Yeah.
and he never left that bank,
That's unusual.
to say the least. Unless there's a hotel in the bank that I don't know about, then maybe he
No.
left out the back, or
If Treyarch is also there, then they probably have some sort of meeting there. Private. The bank's more than just the front end.
Oh yeah, but Treyarch didn't go there. I didn't see Treyarch leave the hotel.
no, just his bodyguard, which is still weird.
Well, sometimes, I mean, I imagine that Treyarch gave orders to the guard at some point.
I mean, he was drinking before, right? So it couldn't have been urgent orders. He is a trade lord. At the end of the day, it could have just been normal trade lord stuff.
Yeah, I don't. It didn't look like he received any orders before he went to the bar where I drank with him.
Vanya's
mean,
just
it
gonna
could have been a
wiggle
sending
the sending stone at him.
Yeah, it could be a sending spell. Or
Right,
just told earlier in the day.
He is
maybe.
a really powerful spellcaster, so
Right. Yeah, even the bodyguard admits to his position being completely superfluous. So
which is worrying in its own right.
yeah.
Are we. I don't know if we should pursue this, though.
We're
Kind
not.
of pursuing it already.
Well, we can check out the bank during the day, but
No, I think that's a dead end. But there's
you
nothing.
think so?
Yeah, mostly. Unless we go in there, and I really don't want to try and sneak into somewhere like that. Even in the daylight, if we're going to find anything out about whatever they're planning in there, that's going to be something behind doors, I think. Not just out in the open that anyone can ask about.
Well, I was just saying that we at least look and see and maybe theorize on what they could be doing, because I was expecting Vegas to just be on lookout, to just keep an eye, not to like infiltrate anything, and I'm
Well,
concerned one of you's gonna break into something.
I don't plan on it. The idea is for us to wait, see whatever this meeting's about over in Springbok, and then let them do it. Let them do whatever it is. But I don't think we're able to stop them from doing whatever they want here, especially if they're all mobilizing in such a big group. But
But they have to be doing something here in Pristana other than just having
That's-
drinks and taking rest for a day, especially when
Well,
Springbok's
that's-
flight is so close.
why, I don't know about that. I genuinely think he might just be doing his duties as a trade lord right now. If you want to find out more about it, though, one of us is going to have to do something more questionable.
Such as.
Well, we need to get behind those doors that are closed off, right?
Well,
Still, somehow I don't think that's going to be me.
I have an in already.
You do?
You had a
Yeah.
conversation.
Right.
How did that go? Did you?
Pretty well. He doesn't know I'm me, and I think we got along pretty nicely.
What did you talk about?
Nothing.
How
I
does
asked
that
him-
translate to an inn? Like, are you
Yeah,
just going to go up to him and be like, "Hello, fellow beast, would you like another drink? By the way, are you planning on doing racism?"
Aspen has a point,
Well,
just
it's a
because you
slower
know them,
burn than that.
but you haven't talked about the ferals or anything.
No,
You shouldn't, because
I
there was
didn't.
no.
You could drop hints without saying as much.
exactly. Like, y'all, you guys are talking to me like I didn't fight in the invader war on the side against the invaders. I know a few things to say.
There's
So you're
I've
also
worked
saying
for
you
people
have
like
done
that.
racism?
there's also the. I mean, it's an easy group to kind of blag your way into, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I just imagine that. I mean, they might have more careful eyes, especially someone close to Treyarch.
Oh, true. The way I see it, if you can get an in, go for it. But
Don't push it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
won't overstep anything.
And you can be basically any other dog you want to be, right? So
Yeah.
have an advantage there at least.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat what you've done before?
It doesn't say in the rules of the spell.
No reason you can't.
No reason that I can't, yeah. So yeah, I could. I mean, I wasn't anything special. I would just turn into that same default anonymous dog again. So yeah,
John Border Collie.
John Border Collie.
So you could, in theory, wait around tonight or at any point today and wait
Yeah.
for this bull to show back up.
Yeah,
I mean, you had a pleasant conversation, you said, at least.
yeah,
So he might be willing to talk to you again.
yeah, might be. So I'll start dropping hints.
How long do we have, Duo, till it was like within the week when the big test ship shows up, right? When the Admiral
Mhm.
shows up, not the Grand Feral. Were we told they were showing up at different times? I forget.
You knew, based off the information you had, that they were essentially waiting on everyone to get here around the same time, and the person that's furthest away is the guy who was up in Oria getting his warship built. So
Yeah,
he's
so
on
we
his
have
way
a few
now,
days.
and you're just waiting on basically that arrival. There might be more. You don't know where they're at, though.
True. I'd imagine the person furthest away is the one we're basing our time off, though.
Yeah.
'cause- yeah.
You probably have, maybe 3-4 days at max now.
That's a long time given what's going on. So yeah, you have 3 or 4 nights to 2 or 3 nights to get your in. Maybe you can go along with Iggy, who we had said to go, who already has an actual inn.
Right. Alternative inn. He's also been seen with me in the company of people who work among them. So
You
that
have.
could be fun. Yeah.
Not John Border Collie.
No, so there's neither or. I'm not saying that that's my favorite option, but yeah, there's multiple inns.
And there's always my less optimal way in, but I can sneak about, listen in from a roof somewhere. But
You need to be careful.
I'd avoid that if we could. Though I've got this now, and she kind of swaps the clothing to dark clothes and then back to normal clothes. So it makes things a little easier. I do have a
Congrats.
much more I can't say that word.
Anomalous.
Anemone.
Anonymous.
That anonymous. There we go. Yeah, a much more anonymous clothing option, but I kind of don't want to just swap into that in the middle of the street. And I can just tuck the tail away, and then I mean, lots of people have weird legs. Just kind of gives a foot a wiggle. But I'd rather not, if I could avoid it.
I'd rather not go alone.
I wouldn't be alone. Nikki and Vegas would be in the crowd, hopefully. And then you guys wouldn't be too far either. I do not intend to make the same mistakes I've done already.
I have been watching from the hotel, and there are a few scouts.
I didn't see them when we were
Yeah,
there.
do foxes dressed in black moving much like Vanya does through the night ring any bells for anybody else?
That could be any
I
criminal
spotted
ever.
much of the same back when we were eavesdropping on their other meeting in Severport, so I suppose that given the importance of this one, there's going to be ever more. Though, I might also suppose that they may need to stay close enough to the meeting itself to receive their orders as well. It may give us some openings to listen in our own ways.
Charlotte, did you see any masks on them? Vegas too? I never saw them.
That wasn't what was described to me with the Nat 20, so I guess not.
They were black clad leather. They would have had like black matching masks as well, but not iron
Okay,
masks.
but not dusters and iron masks. Okay, so yeah, I can confirm that it wasn't feral adjacent, at least.
That's still a coincidence. That can't be just a coincidence that just
No,
the
they're
Grand
probably
Feral
related.
comes in and then a bunch of Fox Scouts go about on the roofs.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't Iggy tell us about that Brotherhood?
You think the
I'm
Brotherhood
assuming-
can be here?
I'm assuming they're not all brethren.
Do we... As much as I would love to know, it's a risk.
Intercepting them isn't a wise choice.
We could
Oh, I
end up
don't-
outing ourselves to the Ferals.
I don't recommend that, but if they're not wearing the masks, and every other time we've seen their agents, they've been in these masks, then maybe these aren't ferals. I'd have to... I can pass myself off as any regular criminal, especially here in Pristana. No one knows me, other than you and the big buck himself.
I can still keep an eye on them. I can try tracking them if they come around tonight. But what... I feel like we should avoid them. We don't know if they could be hired agents for the Ferals. I imagine Treyarch has more hands with other groups than just Ferals.
True. They could be thieves on me.
They could.
But according to Iggy, they're in the pockets of the ferals. Or at least he suspects they might be.
For all we know, they could just be some sort of mercenaries that we've never heard of before.
Well, this whole sneaking thing is going to get a lot easier once these stones are done. Though I don't have enough for the whole group yet. I don't plan on us leaving here until I can get the rest done, which is only 3 more.
There
We have
was...
4 right now.
I thought of something, but it would be too much risk and we'd be sticking our necks out.
Go on.
We don't have a confirmation of when they're going to Springbox, correct?
Whenever. I'm assuming this admiral's here. That might take a few days, though. And if there's any other lag behind, but I doubt it. Unless there's people coming all the way from Allah, but that's a long way. And I imagine those people would have set off well in beforehand.
Do you think if we try leaving before they do? I know it's we don't have a confirmation. We might. I don't know. We might be able to get more ideas of what they might be doing than just coming into the surprise. Like, see
I
where they're
thought
moving people.
I thought the whole idea was that before anyone shows up, that we were going to have a scout of Springbok to see if there's any evidence of a gathering starting. Because I imagine a gathering this big, if it sounds like a lot of people are coming, it's going to be a bit of a footprint. I doubt they'll be able to hide it.
I imagine they're going to make themselves known. It's not going to
So-
be, all snuck in the tunnels and, meeting somewhere underground.
So we look for somewhere prepping for a large amount of people. That's really bold, right? Going from a group of people that barely anyone knows about to a massive meeting like this. Does that not worry anyone else?
The Trade Lord is funding it and leading it.
Right, but it's going from a group that guards in some of the biggest cities in the whole continent didn't know about, or had only heard brief mentions of, and that people didn't even know about other than their members or people that were downtrodden enough to even consider joining them.
I imagine there's reasons they stay hidden, especially if we heard from Ignatius's account that there are people set out to sabotage them.
Right, so now why are they doing a massive meeting like this? It's gotta be... That's a massive break of character, no? You're going from a secretive small organization to what sounds like hundreds of people all meeting up in a singular location, out in the open.
They're confident enough to make themselves known, probably.
Either that or there's some breaking news.
That would require so many to meet together.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
They were bold
That's
enough
a
to
good
group
response.
all of their number together back in Dole, if I'm not mistaken.
That was just from the way he was talked about, I don't think he had much favor. I remember the Grand Feral mentioning that other than being an annoyance, we didn't really affect anything with what we did in Dole. So that was just a group of, I'm going to be honest, people that were just misled and
Recruiters.
Yeah, and then one very, very annoyed ex-tavern owner. And if I remember right, at least one very well-trained fighter. A dog, I think, with a sword. Vegas, you had hold of him for a moment and he got away.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be way, way more capable than anyone else in that barn.
Yeah. Just a bit. I mean, he wiggled out of my grasp. If I had just another second with him, it might have been a different story. But he also told me to know my place, so look what I'm currently not doing.
Well, I don't
Very
think we should
funny.
ever know our place when it's people like this. Our place is definitely not below them, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I imagine we're going to have more reconnaissance tonight.
Well, I don't know how long it's going to take to get to Springboks from Pristana, but imagine it's not an overly long boat trip.
It would be a ferry, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh. Hour or two.
We could.
They need to at least stay a night there, see if there are any of their other watchers stalking the rooftops again. If we can find any particular locations that their little guarding circles are centered around, be a decent place to scout out. See if we can find any alternative ways into their meeting place before the bulk of their numbers arrive.
I just want to toss this in front of everybody, see how it sounds. I feel like we should be prepared for the worst. So, what happens if everybody's in on it there?
If everything goes to shit, we leave
If we need
early.
to get out
We
of a
leave.
town full of ferals, yes.
We leave. And if anything, if it's as you said, Vanya, we were only an annoyance.
Well, I kind of kicked a hornet's nest with what I did in Louvain. Which is
You
why
kind
what
of did,
happened
yes.
to me happened to me. And yeah, lesson learned. Don't kick a nest of angry racists. But
Do it with backup.
I learned a lot from it. Not just the his temperament when I called him out was far more, how to put it, he didn't seem to think what he was doing other than, like, you know, no one ever doing what they think is right thinks they're doing the wrong thing, but he didn't kill, from what I could tell. He specifically called me out because of what happened in the barn. And when I said I didn't like what he was doing, but he didn't want to kill any of the brethren, from what I can tell, which confuses me. I don't know what the plan is. I mean, maybe sending them back where they came from, but that is basically killing them now.
It would be impossible, too.
Don't people go there?
There are ways to be made to
There are
live in
ways,
fear
but a
that
mass
are worse than death.
transportation of numerous people would be completely unheard of.
Well, I remember there'd be people in cells when there was being escorted out.
Veronica kind of chimes in at this point. Yes, we recovered several brethren from there. The anonymous tip gave the location to us.
Were they
Hmm.
ever? What were they kidnapped? Were they held for ransom?
Some of them were locals to Louvain. Some were from neighboring areas. They had seemed to have some run-ins with some masked individuals, at least from their stories that they've told. Wrong place, wrong time, sort of thing.
Was there anything else of note around in those cells we recovered them from?
No, not that we noticed. It was an old guardhouse. It was not supposed to be in use.
So you didn't find any sort of plans of how they were they just going to keep those people in prison or transport them?
Beyond that, we didn't gather any other information.
I doubt they're going to be as clumsy as to leave "here's our master plan" behind in a location like that.
We only found the brethren there. We didn't find anyone else.
Which is also kind of confusing, but I get it. Transporting people around, especially in duress like that, would be very difficult.
Yes. Was there anything else that stood out there?
I just remember there being a few guards, and hearing people, but that was it. The cell I was in was, you could see out onto the street, but it was below ground slightly. I don't know.
You don't think you'd be able to retrace your steps if we put you back in Louvain all of a sudden, would you?
Maybe, but it, like Veronica said, it's gone now.
Ah,
If it was a few weeks ago, I could have led you right there easily, but my memory's a little fuzzy now. But yeah, if they're running something similar, Louvain seemed to step up from whatever the hell was happening in Dole. A lot more organized. So it says to me that this is going to be a step up again if the big man himself is there.
Yes.
You said you saw him in Louvain. You had a run-in with him.
I had a face-to-face conversation with him.
Did you
He threatened
figure out what he
me.
was doing?
Not necessarily. I asked him what made him think he knew better than Purua, and he lashed out. Not physically, just he got very angry very quickly. And they mentioned, I think he mentioned being betrayed by her, by this happening. But my memory's fuzzy. It's a while ago, and I'm trying to forget some of the worst parts.
I know that feeling.
I've seen it before.
Do tell.
It's a long story, but I've already met someone who believed that the gods were essentially tricking the brethren and planning to essentially make them servants. It was nonsense, but it was believable to people.
I don't think that's the same mindset that he has, but he wants to get rid of them, is the vibe I got. He doesn't want them around. He doesn't want them in the beast world. That's it.
He doesn't want brethren around in the beast world, but he has no plans of actually killing them or putting them away anywhere by the looks of it.
I'm imagining once we're more capable, we'll be able to better infiltrate them, or maybe the Brotherhood can tell us. But they're in Arneria right now, or at least the members we know about are in Arneria now. We came here to find Iggy, and this is a side effect, I guess.
I will say, as Ignatius, we did have the run-in with the Brotherhood up in Oria, so they could be in other places too. Though they said that seemed to be the furthest north they had seen them.
So, another smaller group, likely with more spread out cells, is probably not a good thing for their chances anyway. Though that makes me think these foxes may be part of this more than we know. And I kind of want to make a risk and try to interact. And I can keep my face hidden from them.
And I can look out for you if I can.
You'll have a sending stun today that you'll be able to reach me with, though everybody on the network will hear it. From what I understand, anyway.
Speaking of, you, Vanya, end up getting a message. All of a sudden, kind of startling. You and your friend's items are ready. You can come pick them up at the store.
Nearly falls off Aspen's shoulder. Speaking of which, they're ready.
Yes.
So,
Just got a text message.
Sandy, I'm not used to that. That's really weird. The stones kind of, you get a little bit of a pre-warning, but there's someone talking in your head like that out of nowhere. That's weird.
Yeah, it's even better when it happens while you're waking up.
You didn't. Looks at Charlotte.
I had to bring her over one way or another. I didn't know where she was. I'm sorry.
You know she was asleep.
You couldn't have known.
Better waking you up than interrupting the alternative.
Slap around the ears.
What? I'm not wrong.
Let's go get these, and then we can
But
continue
yes, I
this.
have my fears about what Treyarch could be up to with these brethren. That's... I sound like a lunatic even explaining it.
I mean, if we explained half the shit we've gotten into recently, we'd sound all like lunatics. Every single one of us.
Ah, fair enough.
First time.
Christ.
I don't suppose any of you are familiar with werewolves, lycanthropy.
Oh yeah, big fan.
No, not off the top of I heard stories, but
What
nothing.
kind of roll would I need to make?
Vanya
yes,
and
I'll-
Niski would have heard stories. Anyone else would need to make a history check.
What I'm good at. Okay, that's fair. 15.
Vegas definitely knows.
Aspen's just like, I think I know the normal amount, but I'm not actually sure how much the normal amount is.
I've had a run-in with a couple.
Charlotte and Vegas would have heard stories. Vegas apparently having an encounter, according to that.
Yeah. That's a lie, but you can deception check me if you want.
Absolutely.
All right.
Sure, insight check.
I still know about them.
I believe you completely.
Superb.
Nice.
Bruh.
Everybody. You fool everybody.
Everybody believed that.
Wait,
Oh.
wait.
Oh.
I had to give
Oh,
it a
close.
Close.
Close, but still not there.
Huh. Okay. So, Vegas and Charlotte, you would both know that there is a form of disease or sickness called lycanthropy that has spread through the Balik area of Arneria. It has caused some brethren to turn into like pseudo beasts. They are in a permanent transformation, essentially. And they tend to go into a frenzy upon transforming. They've known to like kill other beasts as a result. But the source of this like sudden outbreak is unclear. But for the most part, the stories have been mostly contained to Arneria.
I was about to say, would the two natives of an area know the origin, or is that still
The origin's not fully understood.
it's unknown? Okay, I'm just making sure I don't bring out of game knowledge
Yeah.
into this. So.
Fortunately, this is in-game knowledge I have because it was given to me right at the very start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, lycanthropy, as some of you may be aware, is a curse that causes Brethren to turn into not beasts, strictly speaking, but parodies thereof almost. Loose cannons, if you will. This was something that was created, not a natural occurrence. This was created by ferals out in Narnia.
Wait.
The sort of triple
If
blink.
if
excuse me?
if Treyarch is keeping these Brethren captive, has no plans of killing them, has no plans of sending them away to anywhere. This is just a suspicion, but maybe, like, being the powerful mage that he is, he might be up to something along those lines instead.
But
Is what I fear.
Duo, it wasn't all that common, was it? Like, it didn't happen often.
No. It was, usually it would affect, like, one brethren in, like, a village at the most.
Right.
Very rarely. There were some instances or stories of where brethren would attack another brethren, essentially pass on the infection.
So just
But-
like loose rumors. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as, like, numbers, very, very rare incidents.
That would be more obvious, though, right? Kind of looking to assess if he's making more or something like it, then surely that would be more blatant. That feels too.
But
Too
not in a
soon
way
for
that would be
something
traceable
like
to
that.
him.
True. Hmm.
so what, he just Cherish just gonna plan to just spread this.
That's if it's his plan.
That's what I'm suspecting.
It just seems that's going to get a lot of people killed.
He seemed very.
Do you think he cares?
Yes. Yes, actually. No, I don't think he wants them dead. Just wants them gone. He went out of his way to call me a murderer for what I did.
And
I don't think someone that would use it in that the tone of voice, he was spiteful with that. It feels like it's not something he approves of, like that, like killing in general, potentially, unless it needs to happen. If he can
Well,
avoid
very
it, I think
rich
he
from
will.
the
he could
person
just be a
whipping people
hypocrite.
up into a fury.
Assuming that's him who made it, right?
He
Well,
doesn't
he's
need to have
certainly not stopping
created it. He only needs to utilize it.
Fair. Though he didn't seem to. I forget the person's name, but he didn't seem to condone what he was doing in Dole. That's all. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving him too much respect. Well, not even respect, but
I don't know what Tarek's up to, but I don't think it's going to be something that violent. It's something, but it's not going to be like that. I don't think we're going to have lycanthropy, like, outbreak.
Wouldn't
I
be
suppose we will
surprised.
need to gather more evidence one way or another.
mhm. Let's go get these items.
As it stands, this is just a hunch on my part. Obviously, no ironclad conviction.
And
I think we need to bear in mind that it seems clear that he may want to distance himself from the murder and the violence, saying, oh, I don't condone what this person did, but he has no issue with whipping people up into a murderous frenzy so that they do his dirty work for him, and then disavowing them. I don't think there's going to be any moral high ground for this.
Playing the PR
No.
game, yes.
I completely agree. He's completely lost it in the sense of, like, there's no condoning what he does, but I'm just confused as why he'd use that as a battering ram. Condoning someone for killing, especially when you're doing what you're doing, is odd in the least.
He's
Or
nothing but a
maybe he was trying to
hypocrite.
get at me.
He's just a murderer that uses disillusioned, out of luck people to do his murdering for him. They are his
I
weapons.
think if we could speculate all we want, but I feel like we're going to be just. I feel
Going
like
in
by the time we're done
circles.
with it, we're going to think the dragons are in on it or something. I think we need to. We need to get our heads screwed back on and get the stones and find whatever info we have and work from there.
Yep.
Well, that's all the
Yes.
info we have for now.
Let's go get those stones.
Yes.
And then
Let
we can
us.
see about spotting any potential dens they may be hiding in over in Springbox.
All right. With that, we'll be going on our break.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Gonna go stretch the leggies. Be
I
right
need
Mhm.
coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make myself a drink.
I'm back.
Oh well.
Ha!
Yeah.
And I turn.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I live.
Welcome back.
Generally the preferable outcome. Oh, I love the puns.
Hey Dante,
Huh? Yeah.
what do you call a deer that's lost its sight?
This isn't going to be the obvious
No
one, is it?
idea.
Okay.
I'm glad someone else says idea.
Terrible.
Why does this guy laugh like Squidward?
I love him.
Sometimes you got to after a good pun.
He's like really perfected his jester walk though. Like if you put a jingly little hat on him, he'd be a pro.
Because he's a brickie. I don't know what to tell you, but like every laborer I've ever known could do that shit.
I share his videos with a friend in the other D&D group who loves puns, and he says he loves this man.
He did end up on my TikTok For You page, and yes.
Oh god.
I'd watch all his videos. They're funny.
Yep.
Are we all here?
I know I am.
I think we're waiting
I think
on.
we might be waiting for Jade.
Yeah.
Okay.
I return.
Wonderful time.
We just mentioned we were waiting for you, and then you come back.
I'm sorry.
Summoning ritual.
Speaking of the devil, and she appears.
I was mentioned in a snacky post and had to return.
Surprised I didn't hear you laughing on Dante's mic.
That was pretty funny.
Got to have the Ian cackles.
Shush.
Wait,
That was
where
last
it?
episode, wasn't it?
I think it was last on the one before. I've completely forgot what made me lose my
Yeah, it was
shit.
last before the little holiday break.
Yo said something funny. Jade laughed so hard.
No, I remember. It's Aspen had shoved Mocha's head back into the wagon by force, and I posted that One
All
Piece
right.
gif.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah, that was it. Ironic that Vanya would be the next to do it. Alright. So. I don't remember where I put the magic shop off the top of my head.
What?
I want to say it was like maybe the 8th canal. That sounds right to me. I know it wasn't far.
Believe so, because we had to go to, because it was because the third canal is the alchemists, and we were like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a while away. So
Yeah, so you head up the 8th canal to Storm Song's Emporium. They're about the same amount of busy as they were yesterday. Definitely different mix of like Delphers here and there. But you enter into her shop, and she waves a friendly greeting to all of you.
Hello.
Here to pick up your things, then.
Mm-hmm.
yes. Oh, we need to keep this one somewhat hidden. Elbows, Aspen.
Right. This one still will need to pay as well.
Duh.
Do you have the gold, or do you need it?
Very much depends on how much gold it is. We haven't really worked out the price yet.
I think for what you're planning to use them for, it's not too absurd. So, I'd say I'd probably run you 150 gold.
Well, it's going to leave me with little more than pocket change, but I can do that.
I'll
What is
give you half.
pocket change to Aspen?
That'll leave me with 58 gold.
Okay.
Add 75 back on, because I'm going to pay for half.
Okay.
I was just trying to figure out if Aspen's idea of pocket change is like way more gold than most people.
200, 300 gold.
I mean, to be fair, the 200 they've got is just... They've put everything they've earned into the party pot. They just took this 200, so they did have a little walking around money. This is pocket money.
Alright. So, she sets over a box that has the set of 4 sending stones connected to them.
Brilliant.
Fancy.
They instantly, one gets given to Iset, one gets given to Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
and one gets given to Usky.
Thank you.
And then Vanya's going to pass off the sending stone she's currently holding to Aspen. So Aspen has one that will only talk to the other one that Vegas is carrying.
Alright, so who's getting which stones?
So the 4 connected ones, Vanya's holding one, Usky's holding one, Charlotte, and then Iset.
Alright.
Girls' night group chat.
Mostly spooky, all at least slightly tied to the spooky side of the group.
Spooky guy in Charlotte.
I'm trying to figure out I'm looking through everyone's character sheets. I'm just trying to figure out who had the original Sending Stone pairs, because I don't see them
That
on
was
anyone's
Vanya in
sheets.
Vegas.
Yeah.
I
have one.
love the concept of Charlotte in that spooky group. It's like the one straight friend or like the one non-furry
Yeah.
friend.
The one person
She
who
is
wears all
great.
pink in a group of goths.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
When you run with different crowds, but the love is still there.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I will just have to pull up the item. Let's see, where did it go? There they are. Where's it putting this item? I just dropped it in your inventory and I don't see it. Weird. Okay.
In mine, I think if you right click for bag of holding and click edit, you'll see it in there. Maybe.
Oh, is it? Did you like put it in something?
Yeah. Oh, the sending stone isn't in there. Is it in the backpack? In the send in the bag of holding? No. Okay. That's odd. Where did that go? Because I thought it might be trying to.
I
with-
physically grabbed a new one to drop into your sheet.
drop it on someone else's. Oh, there
Okay,
it is.
there
Stone
we go.
ascending.
All right.
And the idea is that 6 of us are connected right now in varying connections.
You've got a loose network of sendings.
Yeah, because I remember she said she only had the 4 that she could do right now. So
Okay. So remind me one more time. Who's getting the 4?
So myself, a ski, Charlotte, and a set. And then I'm handing off the old sending stone to Aspen. And then Vegas has the other side of that one.
Got it. Okay. That is set. Okay. That's just so we can keep track of who has what stones. Alright, so that's taken care of. And then she looks over to you, Vegas, and she produces the Ring of Freedom of Movement to you.
Yes. Huge item for me.
It is attunement. I believe I set it to recharge at dawn.
Yeah.
Huge item. How big are your fingers?
Wheel sausages. So, and I'm clarifying this for myself. I have to cast this. It's not just passively active, right?
Yeah, you have to cast it. You have to expend the
Got
use,
it.
essentially. And it only
Okay.
lasts for an hour.
And it's 1 use per day then?
1 use per day.
Sounds good.
Alright, and then Aspen, she hands you a box. It is enclosed. You can open that whenever you feel like it.
Definitely trying to peek around Aspen now that they're actively being suspicious about this.
Just gonna stare at Vegas holding the box closed. Sure.
Cool box, what does it do?
Holds things.
You never seen a box before?
Boxes tend to do. I thought I was the one that
yes,
was
a
supposed to
box
be
of
out of touch
holding.
with normal things.
Box box of holding.
All right, play your games.
Totally intend to.
We will.
And turn back to the shopkeeper. Like, thank you very much. I appreciate the work you've put in.
Of course, hopefully those are exactly for your needs.
If I could just make one more request.
Yes?
So the group of stones you managed, I'm not going to ask for them just yet, but are you able to connect more to those, or would that be another order entirely?
I could probably get these connected. You say you have existing sending stones?
We have 2 currently. There's 7 of us, so we'd need 3 more to be connected total.
Okay. I could do that. It would take some additional time, and I would need to have all the sending stones in my possession.
We need what we've got right now, but if you could let me know when you're able to start this, then we can probably see about getting here and making it a more official purchase. Because I really have found out the hard way that keeping communication in some dungeons is really difficult.
Well, I can see about acquiring some further stones as well. Come check with me tomorrow. I will let you know if I've acquired anything further.
Alright, I'll see if I can.
Looking for anything else today?
Looks to the group.
I have all I need.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for the excellent service.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied.
Still holding
I'm quite
onto your
satisfied.
sword?
For the time being. But I'll keep your offer in mind for when I find something better that makes me willing to part with it.
I will be impressed if you do.
I bet I can.
We will see.
Shake on it.
She extends a hand.
Shakes hands. And thus, the cycle begins anew.
It started again. Your new
She's
best
gonna
friend.
die.
I'm gonna save her life this time, guys. Mark my words.
This
In
is
this
gonna
universe.
happen in every universe? Are we gonna see if you can actually save this
Yeah.
time?
Whenever shit hits the fan chapter happens, I'm ready.
The Joe Stardust of Pelly Bond.
All right. Yeah. Anybody else?
All good.
I think we've gotten everything we can.
Alright. Well, where to?
To, I guess check to see ferries to Springbox.
Going to go check for any berries? Okay. Alright, let's see. It's not quite noon yet, but it's getting there. So, go ahead and give me group perception checks. As you make your way
Perception
down
check
towards
starting
the
in 0
harbor.
seconds.
Perception.
I
Is
have
this site gonna be annoying?
expertise in perception, and I always roll shit.
Wow. I think we're missing the sheep.
Oh no, I clicked him. I saw my
Oh, there it
mouse.
is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it was
14.
very delayed.
I guess I tabbed out just before the message? Question mark.
Alright. Okay. So, you head down to the ferries. You head down to the harbor, I should say, to look to see if there are any ferries available. Specifically looking just to get to shore. And there is a particular part of the harbor that is kind of set up as that sort of like touristy destination, kind of pick up and drop off area. And it leads straight from Pristana to Springboks Flight and back again. It's about a 4-hour boat ride.
Woof.
Aspen looks at the boats, looks at the water. I think I would prefer to take the land way around.
There
Take the
isn't a
wagons.
landway.
What do you mean?
We're
This is-
an island.
This is an island.
Do they not have
What do you mean the
islands
land
down
is
in
gone?
Korea?
Of course, we have islands in Noria. Just we came here through the gate, and I just.
Look,
Come on, Aspen,
this
pretty
is-
please.
Does Springbok maybe have one of the way gates?
No.
Uh,
Vanya is gonna lean in so she's closer to Aspen's ear after climbing up Aspen's back, and very quietly whisper, and I'm gonna DM you in Discord.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I wonder where is the other nearest way gate.
I sent it.
One time. This is a one-time deal.
Well, you
Once
have
in
to
a
come.
lifetime opportunity.
You have to come back too. That's the problem. And then we're probably gonna have to go back over. So the offer stands twice.
Or I could wait here and just.
No, that's not.
secure
That's
the-
not. That's not happening. You have to prove to all of us that you're a better Orient warrior than Vegas. You can handle a bloody boat.
This has nothing to do. I'm not going to fight the boat.
No, but warriors might have to use boats. I don't know these things very well. Shut up.
You'd better be good.
Just take the damn boat.
I will take the deal this time.
A small hand offered in shaking.
Aspen shaking the hand, but it's probably like the index finger and the thumb just holding by it.
I can't go back on it now. Anyway.
Alright, so you head down towards the ferry, and get a quick. I assume everybody's coming.
Yep.
Everyone's here.
Everyone but Ignatius, I believe. I believe I would have Ignatius step out to go deal with some of the Order of Weights and Measures training.
Has paladin
with-
duties.
Well, with the reasoning that if there are people gathering in Springboks Flight, he would be the one that would stand out a lot.
Yeah.
So he will remain here for now, but he does have the closed sending stone to Aspen. So everyone else heads into the ferry. Aset, would you have retrieved Mocha?
Yes.
Okay. Oryx is on the boat.
Just don't let them near walls and it'll be fine. That is a siege.
I understood that reference.
All right. Veronica comes with as well. And yeah, it's a rather pleasant boat ride. On your way across, you do occasionally see some other boats closer to Pristana. Either people who are out
Mhm.
just casually riding in boats for leisure, or some people who might just be fishing out in the ocean. But for the most part, the waves are pretty calm. It's not too unsteady. But it does take you several hours to reach towards Springvox flight. It puts you, I'd say, probably around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So not too bad. What's this for? Holding on, are we?
I just kind of like decided if I rolled over a 10 that Aspen's found something to hold on to on that boat so tight that the wood is splintering a little bit.
Roll for sea legs.
I just
like
imagine that
claws
Aspen
in
is
the
like
wood.
digging into like one of the masts in the ship.
There's gonna be paw prints left on that mast.
So, you eventually arrive to the city of Springbok and depart off into its harbor, which is a little bit more quaint, not as flashy as Pristana in any way. There are other ships that come and go, just for like supply needs, but their harbor is much smaller by comparison. This is still a city. This is a pretty sizable city. The most noticeable thing that you see, though, when you arrive, is that there are a pair of lighthouses up on the cliff sides, like, overlooking the city. I think Charlotte and Iset, maybe Vegas, would know the meaning behind these lighthouses.
Oh.
The lighthouse on the west symbolizes the Beast Mother's gift of willfulness into the minds of beasts. The one on the east represents Dramfine's fairness towards all beasts and brethren. This is a city that is, ironically, very devout of religion. This is a place a lot of people who practice various types of religions, including Heroism, would pilgrimage to.
Ooh, yeah.
I definitely believe Charlotte would have been here like in the past. So it is different. It is not like Verasta's position in Pristana. This is generally all of the faiths, but especially the Beast Mother and Dramfine for creation and unity.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a very strange
Glances
place to have.
at Mocha.
I think it's sort of strange to have everything organized here.
Maybe to send a message.
I don't like it.
Let's
So,
just keep our eyes open.
And how long are we staying?
A night.
One night.
Until we have to come back here with Iggy.
All right. Find a place to stay and find a place. Gamay is a large place, and we have to see where we could stay. Somewhere somewhere central. That would help.
I've got a feeling a lot of these taverns are going to be full.
Well, we're just gonna have to look.
All right. So, are we looking for accommodations first?
Yes.
All right. Give me investigation checks for anybody assisting with this search.
Very good.
Finally, a good roll.
All right. With the 22, you find not a tavern, but not a hotel either. It's more like just kind of a centralized establishment for those that not need shelter so much, but a place to stay. It is... Damn, I just had the name. Wow, I completely dropped that one. I will call it the Grazing Fields for now. It is a relatively quaint building. It does have several iconography and symbols associated with Piroa, I should say. And there is like a cleric of Piroa that stands outside the entrance as well, just kind of like greeting people as they like come in. And she kind of like gives you a warm welcome. She's a relatively tall bovine woman.
Going to curtsy and then head in, find a place to. So you say it's like a central area, but it's not like a tavern. It's more just like a resting place.
Sort of. It's kind of interesting because it's a place for people to stay as they're like traveling through. So you're not really expected to stay very long, but it's also like not something that you're being charged for either.
Is it like
It's
some
more of
kind? Is it like
Sorry.
some kind of camp or flop house?
Not a camp. Well.
Gotcha.
We have a thing over here called YHA. The like
Yeah, flophouse is a pretty good term for it. I didn't know what that
Yeah,
was
the-
at first.
They're kind of like a room you can get. It's like a hospitality sort of thing. It's a room with multiple bunk beds, and you just stay in overnight with strangers. It's not like private at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, hostel.
Yeah. You're there overnight, and that's it, and then you move on.
Yeah, basically. But it's nice. It's well protected, and it's pretty low profile.
Alright. And not paid.
No fees. It seems like the clerics that essentially operate this do it as a charity. Because again, they get a lot of like religious travelers that come through.
I was gonna say, are there any
that
noticeable
makes sense.
places to give a donation?
Yeah, there's like an offering bowl that is set out in like the form of a heartleaf tree.
Yeah, in lieu of payment, then Vanya's just gonna drop 5 gold in there and just kind of slip away afterwards. Not making a big deal of it.
All right. You find a relatively suitable location that has plenty of beds in one area for pretty much your entire group to accommodate for. including Veronica in place of Ignatius.
Nice, nice.
Iset, give me a perception check specifically.
Oh dear. It's 25.
Since the boat ride over here and now kind of like now that you're starting to like kind of settle in a little bit, you notice Mocha's just been kind of being weird.
Not entirely surprising.
Yeah, for the most part. It's just Mocha keeps staring at Veronica for some reason.
Range.
Like, when you notice it, if you, like, kind of give their head a couple nudges, it takes them a second before they, like, regain their focus and look at you.
Oh, got you staring at her.
Just blank stare at you. That's the only expression that I've determined Mocha can make, is just the blank stare.
Blank staring, yes.
Just blinking one eye at a time.
Deer in headlights.
I don't
Like
even-
chameleon.
I don't even see it blinking, just stares.
Yeah, no, it's not blinking. It's just, again, blank stare.
Okay, but the eyes are at least looking in slightly different directions.
Anything you want to do with that, or just keep it to yourself?
Check in on Veronica mostly.
Okay. She's started, like, putting a few things down just to kind of not get fully settled in, but just kind of, like, I guess claim a bunk, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of, like, looks over to you as you approach. She kind of gives you a quick kiss on the cheek.
He says going to kiss back, but also just asks, like, how are you feeling, dear?
I'm doing much better now. I needed just a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
I'm doing okay, just things at the back of my mind, I suppose.
Anything you want to talk about?
Before I do, I'm gonna surreptitiously cast Detect Magic.
Detect magic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which I just have.
Right.
Just jackal things.
Alright, so 30 feet of you, sense magic, visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn School of Magic any. Okay. So, obviously several of your party members all light up with all their different magical items.
Obviously.
And as does Mocha, obviously. Veronica does not. She doesn't have anything magical on her.
Not sure why Mocha's so interested in her then.
Is something wrong?
I don't know, just stray thought is all, don't worry too much about it. I just wanted to make sure you're okay, dear.
Okay. I'll be fine. This isn't the first time it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you say we were going to be here?
Just a day.
Okay. Well, this will be a nice little place to have a date.
Mm-hmm.
Just that picture of Lisa staring at the ground. Yeah, a date.
So what time is it now?
Little
about
after
4
3.
o'clock?
Yeah.
3. So if we get settled, all right. I might go for a walk before it gets dark.
Mind if I follow along?
Absolutely. I'd prefer not to go alone.
Anyone
know,
else?
The day is still young. What if we did just take some time for ourselves?
Yeah, split up if we like. We have the means to get in touch with each other.
Exactly.
Don't make any scenes.
Damn, there goes my plan.
I think it'd be better for me to ask that of you two.
Wouldn't it be funny if I got jumped?
No.
It would be a shock because he just got here.
It would be so funny.
Could be tailing you. Could have been in Prestana all along waiting for you to come here.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe it's the bodyguard. Waggles
Ooh,
eyebrows.
I thought about
hope
that.
not.
That'd be super funny.
That would be terrible. So Charlotte's going to be heading out and taking a walk around the city before nightfall.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow along.
So who's splitting up into, like, what groups?
So we got Vanya and Charlotte.
You said staking or I'm taking Veronica out.
Okay. You bring Mocha, or will you leave Mocha here at the hostel?
I'm gonna leave Mocha here. I don't want her to ruin the vibe.
Leave the spooky animal at the flop house.
At the religious flop house, where the religious people reside.
Where many
What could
people
possibly
are.
go wrong?
Look, could you imagine taking it with you? It'd be like that one plushie in the room that keeps staring at you and you gotta turn it around. Except this one will turn back.
Alright. So, Iski, Vegas,
There is
Aspen.
really no good place to put Mocha, but like the flop house feels like a better plan than taking her out on the date with us.
Hi.
It is. It's like bringing your dog along on a date. It's a little weird.
I think Aspen's just gonna stand around awkwardly until someone claims them.
Vegas is gonna find somewhere to eat.
There you go. Go eat with Vegas.
Eye roll. Fine.
Oh, don't sound too shocked.
Yeah, probably a good idea to get a quick bite, but then after that, immediately spring into recon mode, because since it is still midday, we have the opportunity to do a bit of looking around, probably before any mysterious masked individuals will start patrolling the roofs. So it'd probably be possible to, slip into a secluded area, spider walk up onto the roofs, and just kind of get a scope for the lay of the city here, and just kind of seeing, thinking with the thought process of, if I was an illicit group that didn't want to be seen, what's like the most, the most secluded path through the city? And then that would probably be a good starting point. Where are the most interconnected alleys around this place? And then start there for finding any meeting spots.
All right. Okay. So let's do one big party perception check.
Oh
And
boy.
we'll see who finds what.
Does this include visual? I'm trying not to be annoying.
Visual or auditory
All right.
in this case.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like that because of my gaggles.
So I
Hey, it's
heard.
important.
Oh man, everyone's doing pretty good.
I had to completely clarify every time with her stuff checks with Listen when she had the elven cloak because of the heavy armor underneath.
Okay. Alright, well, first things first, Aski, you notice that the major difference is that this city is not, like, tall buildings for the most part. Most of the taller buildings tend to be a lot of, like, the various churches that exist here. A lot of the Bethels, essentially. They're taller, mostly so they're easier to find. But for the most part, a lot of the building rooftops are not super, like, advantageous for, like, visual purposes. They're also not super close together, but they're also not very far apart either. They're just enough space to be kind of annoying. It's all cobblestone roads and such, but for the most part, the actual traversal is going to take you through some fairly open-ish roads. This doesn't seem like being discreet is as good as it can be. If you wanted to get probably the best view, you'd probably have to get up towards one of the lighthouses that overlook the city.
Well, that can be something for tonight. Probably not a great idea to just walk directly up the wall of the
lighthouse.
lighthouse and
Just stand in front of
broad
the
daylight.
Stand in front of the light,
Yeah.
casting a deep ovine shadow into the sea.
Yeah,
Summon a
well, I mean,
kraken.
it would certainly be thematically appropriate. But no, we can save that, like, Assassin's Creed viewpoint for later. For the most part, yeah, no, the big priority is just if there is not a incredible amount of very private, walkways and stuff, then priority number 2 is just looking for buildings, just to get a vague mental list of buildings that could hold the numbers we have, like, been told about. Since I suppose these, normal-sized one-story homes are probably not going to be able to hold that many people without a line going out the door, and I don't
Mhm.
think they want that. So we're probably going to need to look for the larger buildings in the area.
Okay. Alright. Let's see. So, let's start with... Vegas and Aspen. Iski, did you go off by yourself, by the way? Mostly for your scouting, or...?
So it's lunch with the other two, and then splitting
splitting off?
to
Okay.
go scout. Yeah.
So we'll do this as a before scene, essentially. So Aspen,
Okay.
Vegas, and Aski, you go perusing around looking for food, essentially, for lunch. And the smell of food definitely hits Aspen's nose. And you get your attention pulled towards one of these larger communal Bethels. Where there's actually a decent amount of people gathered about, some of which who are partaking in various meals. It all smells like very, like, fresh gathered food for, like, a potluck.
Aspen's just gonna like detect it, arm up, point, food.
Excellent work.
So
A lot of it.
you head over towards the Bethel, and yeah, there's just various people out and about. The doors to the Bethel are open. People are like being welcomed in and such. You find that a lot of the food has basically just been set out for people to come and take as they please. There doesn't seem to be any like notion of like monetary exchange for any of this. This is just like stuff the community here is like doing.
Aspen ain't even gonna question it, gonna go in and grab a plate.
So, yes, it's a lot of different, like, freshly grown fruits and vegetables. There are, like, potatoes, carrots, there are full, like, loaves of bread. There's some, like, smoked meats that are set out. It's not, like, super fancy stuff, but it is stuff that you can essentially dine up with.
Yeah, Aspen's just gonna be like picking bits and pieces, like putting a meal together and just like saying to other people that are grabbing stuff, just like, this is definitely the closest to a proper Orion meal I've had since I left home. This is like the feast table.
So, Aspen specifically, when you go to taste the food, it doesn't have a taste to it. Which is weird.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
You got the flow.
Oh no.
Aspen's gonna
No.
kind of look at it
COVID.
for a moment and then...
Yeah, like
Does it
what
taste
do you bite out of first?
It's meat. It's gonna be meat.
Yeah, it's flavorless meat. It's weird.
Just like holding a drumstick with a huge bite taken out of it up to Vegas. Just like, taste this.
Okay. And I assume that I taste it when I take a big bite.
Oh yeah, it tastes great.
Oh, that's excellent.
I thought
Whoa.
that might be.
What?
I can't taste anything.
Oh. You don't think
It's because I licked the giant golden.
it's because you
gold
licked the
fellas,
giant
yes.
golden pond?
Whoopsie.
Okay. Maybe you can apologize. I don't know how this guy works, frankly.
I'm not apologizing to a god. If he's going to be that petty, that's on him.
I admire whatever this means, but I don't know. He is a god.
Aspen's gonna lose their sense of smell next to that comment.
I'll see if I can earn his favor again. Wink.
Yeah,
Get you
that
out
is
of
up
it.
to you.
Okay, so you're gonna eat that?
I'm still hungry.
I love the
Alright.
commitment.
I'll make
Maximum
my own
effort.
plate.
Look, I'm sure this is honestly more reminiscent of home than Aspen has had, for the rest of the journey, considering I'm sure they do not use particularly many spices up there in Oria.
You'd be surprised, actually. We can go quite a lot in the Sunstone
That
Cave.
was an out-of-character comment, but yes.
Aspen staring at the camera.
Did you know?
Oh, hi, Deadpool. Yeah, no, Aspen's having a good time still.
It's food.
It's enjoyable, even if there's no flavor in the food, because there's all these people around and they're all just tucking into a big set of food on the table and everything. It feels kind of like just like a mini Orient feast. So yeah.
Nice.
I'm waiting for this to get turned on its head.
Silver linings. There you go.
So, Eski, Vegas, and Espen partake in the food. At some point, Eski, you, I assume, let Vegas and Aspen know before you split off to go do your own reconnaissance. Or do you just fucking leave?
Probably. I mean, I don't. Yeah, no, I mean, probably at the very least to see if any of them also, just to plant the idea for them that this is also probably something they should be doing before the potential onset of any night guards. So you would probably inform them of her plan before, I mean, given that this is still phase 1 of her plan, stepping into an alley and walking directly up a wall to leave them behind.
I think it would be funny if a ski did that, like saying bye, turning around without really explaining anything and doing that is in character.
Walking away like the paladin from the D&D movie, but just up
Yeah.
the side of a building.
Unstoppable.
Well, when I'm done eating, I suppose it would benefit to scope the place.
All right. Well, we're going to jump scenes real quick to Vanya and Charlotte, who both rolled 19s. Both of you, as you set out, I'll say heading along maybe more the southwestern side of the city, hear music. A very jaunty tune coming from a very large brass instrument that you see a brethren carrying in the streets.
I know who this is.
Interesting. I think I also know out of character who this is.
Charlotte's gonna be surprised by this and is going to get a little closer to witness this.
Yeah, just following along.
All right. As you get closer, you see a much older looking brethren, wearing a pair of spectacles on his face, carrying a very large tuba, essentially in one hand. And he is covered in what appears to be like coins. He's got several of them like strapped to a vest on his chest. And he has a very, very flashy hat on. And he seems to just be playing his instrument. There's a couple people who come by and like stop and like chat with him for a moment, but for the most part people just kind of like don't really pay him too much mind. He seems to be having a great time though.
Charlotte will watch for a few minutes and then just whisper to Vanya, I'm glad you're doing what you're doing with helping us stop the Ferals. I know you were afraid of stepping out of line or endangering yourself, but they want to live here.
And they deserve to.
They do.
Does this guy have like a tipping hat or anything nearby?
There's definitely like a bag set out that some people you've seen like put some coins into. But
like
for the most
like the thing for his instrument or something.
Say again?
Like the container for his instrument or something.
Yeah.
If there is like money there, then I'm gonna drop 2 gold in there.
He stops and smiles and thanks you. Say, I don't think I've seen you around here before.
Oh, we're just visiting. Kind of look over to Charlotte. Though we heard you playing from a while away, so had to come look.
Oh, I'm glad my music was able to reach your ears. Where do you come from?
All over, but we just came from Pristana to come over here for the day.
Ah, well, in my opinion, you've come to the best city in the Beast World. It is full of community here. Everybody's always looking out for each other.
It's really pretty too.
There's that. Everybody is very friendly. At least they've been in my travels. Do you examine his vest of coins?
Sure.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Taking a closer look, he's got various types of currency on there, some of which is kind of like outdated currency. Vanya, you might recognize maybe a particular type of coin that the Bay may have like once issued out to like people in our area and then like maybe retracted at one point.
So
there's
just a lot of old
like
coinage.
a lot of collected like coins.
Impressive. He's been around then.
He's also definitely the oldest brethren you've seen. His hair's pretty gray, but fairly short.
But probably gonna step back a bit and keep listening. But respond to Charlotte's earlier. I'm just worried the rest would rather be doing something else. Which I don't blame them. But I kind of pulled you all into this.
No, you didn't.
A little bit.
The Pharaohs pulled us into this.
Fair.
You know that my best friend Garrett is brethren.
You've mentioned.
I'm not going to stand by and just let some people who want to harm my best friend and his people. I can't let that happen. They've been through so much. And I know the war has scared people, but the Beast Mother has the best intentions.
We'll be able to help. I'm positive we'll do something. Even if it is something small. But I think I heard somebody say something along the lines of a small thing can often move bigger things. Loosen them, get things rolling. That just could be mouse sayings that are
All things start from another thing.
and life needs things to live.
Oh my god.
Yeah, do you say that in character?
No. But
God.
I had to. Sorry, it just came
It's
straight
so
to the head.
good.
Well, let's keep our eyes open. But I wanted to come with you because I'm going to be doing something, and I know you would be a little more hesitant. So I'm going to try and sell it to you in person rather than dropping the ball on you a few moments before it happens.
All right, we'll walk and you can tell me about it.
And since Charlotte now knows Vanya's voiceless speech, she is going to communicate all of this in voiceless speech. So answer or give any criticisms when I'm done. But I'm going tonight, while it's dark, to use one of the disguises I've got to sneak around and see if I can find any of those rooftop guards. You'll have me on the sending stones. I'll report in constantly. But the plan is to find them when they're being a little more active, I guess. Though I'd imagine we're still going to find some evidence now, but I think that might be another time to do it. I'm going to bring a ski and probably a set along. Those two have proven pretty stealthy, so... That's it. Now you can
Well-
bite my head off.
Vanya, I think this is the best we can do, and I want to go forward with it. I don't know what they're planning. I feel like it's going to be more than just a meeting. And they got to be moving, or at least preparing for something if they're coming soon.
Well, if it's anything like...
Not to mention, I had a spell planned for surveillance, but only if needed.
Do tell.
I have a spell where I can essentially insert myself into a stone. And I can stay for hours. It would be a little hard to hear, but I have methods. I can still cast magic with it, but it would just be observation, the best I can. I know it's not much, but they would have to try very hard to find me. And I need
Oh
their-
man, I love Brockham.
Can you... How does it work? Do you just become part of the stone, or
Yes,
can you move?
I enter into it.
Magic is so cool.
It is. I mean, there is a couple issues with it. It's not guaranteed. But I don't think they would do anything stupid.
Wait, what happens if you stay in the wall too long? Do you get stuck?
No, it would just push me out. I imagine
Oh.
it would.
You hope.
Well, it's 8 hours, and I can leave when I please.
What if you accidentally leave into a group of them? What do you say? Oh, I just live in this wall?
I mean, your walls.
Well, I'm going to have to find a place that isn't a little too secluded or too close.
And you can listen. How would you do that?
It's not the best. I have a spell that can help me low, but it would muffle things a bit. But the point is, I would be completely concealed. It'd be like if I was invisible.
Okay.
And you can still use the stone to report on anything. I don't think I can use the stone. But I can still use a sending spell if urgent. I want to help, and I know I'm not the stealthiest, given my equipment, but this could work.
I think it could be. You just gotta get something less clanky.
Maybe.
Anyway, if you want to come along, I'm sure a
do.
set can help like she did last time.
I do.
And we may as well bring everyone at that point.
Well,
Which is not bad.
It's
Just
not.
I'll be sticking apart from the group a little more.
there was a reason why I went out on this walk. I want to see if
Oh.
there's anything out of place. I know it's a chance, but if they're going to be bringing a lot of people, there could be some sort of preparation or arrangement somewhere. If I just happen to find it, it'd be convenient. But if not, I kind of need some relief from Pristana.
Is it too busy, or do you just not like it there?
There's something about being on an island with essentially someone who has threatened one of my friends.
Fair.
It's a little bit choking.
Speaking of which, when it comes time to leave, how do we want to do that? Do we want to use the Waystones again? Because that was a little weird. But I'm up for it.
You mean leaving Pristana?
Yeah, when we're done here.
It might be our safest method, because if we get their attention, we're gonna have to find a way out.
I mean, I'm operating on the idea that they already know we're here, so
It's just how much they care.
it's how much they care or how much they're waiting for us to make a move.
Well, they have operations in Jaegerwald. We could head to another place, but we would need reason.
Well, heading to this Brotherhood's location, I
Ah,
think Kiki said Arneria, Batian side.
Yes, so we could head to Kazmak.
Well, the Batian side, so the...
Batian.
Yeah.
We can do that. We can do that.
I think it was the Batian. We'll have to ask
I
Kiki.
need your help because my notes somehow deleted themselves. Was it Balik of Arneria or Batian?
I don't know if you were given a specific region.
Yeah, we were just
Yes,
given
Arneria.
Arneria, which is both of them.
You're also told to
Yeah.
essentially look for the
Oh wait,
ferals.
what was the
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. That.
Yeah, find the ferals, you'll find the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
In Arneria
I think
specifically, though.
I think unfortunately we will still have to be close to the ferals.
Honestly, if I were them, I would be looking for people on the causeway. There's a lot of people there that are desperate for... Well, not desperate, but that are looking for better ways to live. The causeway's kind of a little harder to live on, but people do. A lot of people.
So we could head to Farsoro then?
Or just follow along. It's a big old path. Goes all the way to the Sandstair and then all the way down to Land's End. So
Somebody be nice to me. I'm trying to remember the name of the transportation stones.
The junction.
the Waystones.
Junction.
Junctions,
Thank
yeah.
you! Because I know there's a page in the book.
The junction. I think the junction goes to Fossero.
It goes to every major city.
Yep. Louvain, Kingsfang, Arloris, Pristana, Farsoro, Kazbek, and Jaegerwald.
And
Okay.
Patry, where the main junction gate
Patry.
is.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's where all the Brethren are.
Yep.
Well, their main settlement. Anyway. But we could, if we went, as much as I don't want to, if we go to the Kazmak and make our way down to the causeway, we can travel back towards Almans on the causeway and look.
That
It's the longest route without going all the way to Land's End first.
doesn't that mean we have to go through the desert?
Well, so from the Kazmak, you travel down to the Sandstair, which is a relatively well-traveled and protected route, from what I remember. And then it's just following the causeway. It takes a while because it doesn't go in a straight line, but it does pass. Well, we'd be traveling to where I live, my home anyway, past a ski's home, so we could check in on both places on the way past.
Wait, both. Does the ski have family?
I'd assume so. I think she mentioned living in the cliffs. It's on the way. We'd have to leave the causeway at some point to travel there, but that's if she even wants to go.
Well, if she tells us. I'd
bring it up.
I've just never been in the desert before.
Well, we'll have to stay in the Cosmog for a while, because, one, I think you'd want to see Broadgate.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And two, I think Aspen really wants to get revenge for what happened in Horia. So, I'm going to try and shoulder that.
Wait, what happened with the revenge?
Us friendly bullying about family.
Oh.
Look, there's nothing they can say that I haven't already heard. It'll be fine. You have 6 siblings, it's hard to hear things that people can make up.
I wish I had a sibling.
1, maybe?
One wouldn't hurt. It'd be someone to talk to about everything I'm going through.
Well, I'm not going to say a damn thing about what I'm actually doing with you lot. I am an SHL fighter as much as they want to know. That's all they're going to find out.
SHL?
Uh-huh.
I think we could get, like...
Maybe be happy? Maybe? I don't know.
We should at least get a match in to at least show something.
I mean, it's the home of the SHL. It's where it all started.
We'll have to get that arranged.
I mean, I could always try and fight Vegas, but...
Vegas is stubborn and not in the rude way. Bold. Very hard to put down.
I'm just stubborn in the rude way.
I think we're just gonna walk off and talk while
yeah, that's
Charlotte is gonna be scoping just the streets until sunset for any particular like unusual movements or gatherings, because she's wondering if there's some sort of preparation by these ferals for the eventual arrival of the Grand Feral.
Okay.
Probably too early for it, but Vanya's eyes would mostly be on the roofs and any bigger buildings that we notice on our little wander while we're scouting.
Okay. I will use your 19s from earlier. You make your way through the city, trying to take note of anything that would stand out as a suitable location, and also just kind of like look for any possible activity that would relate to it. And nothing immediately comes up to what you find. A lot of the larger buildings in Springbox appear to be mostly the Bethels. If there's another location, it could be that maybe you haven't seen it yet. It is a fairly big city. But nothing immediately stands out. So we are going to switch over to Vera and Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Wow, I can't believe I'm in the game myself.
So, would you have done any kind of, like, actual reconnaissance, or would you have mostly just been trying to spend time with Veronica? As she basically suggested, date time, different place.
Yeah, she is keeping an eye out, I guess, in case anything goes awry, but like for the most part, she's focusing on her date.
Okay. Veronica will mention that she knows an area that's pretty good to eat here, and that would be a nice little
Oh.
place to get together. It leads you closer towards what would essentially be not quite the northernmost part of the city, but not too far from like the northern gates that lead out into Vigno. Over here, there are a couple of like marketplace areas, but there's also like some dine-in taverns. These are actual like places that are operated for like money exchange and such, unlike some of the other places you've run into.
Yeah,
they're
these are
fairly
actual commercial enterprises.
yeah, they're fairly quaint, but they're very rustic and have a nice, just kind of overall, like, tone to them. They're fairly busy, so you see there's a pretty good sizable number of people out and about. You rolled a 22, so
Yes, I see everything.
as you are like getting settled in at one of these places to eat, there is something that catches your eye. There is a fairly large building further toward the north, not quite out of view, but definitely interesting in that it doesn't look like a Bethel. But it's definitely one of the more larger buildings you've seen since you've come in. Veronica just kind of looks over. Did something the matter?
That place over there is all. Don't suppose you're familiar with it?
She kind of like looks. I assume you pointed out to her.
Yeah.
Oh, if I remember correctly, I think that's old Fort Venture. It's a decommissioned fort from the war.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes, I never really saw any of it at the time, but from what I've heard, it was something that was built in haste when the war happened, as a way to help kind of like protect the city. But for the most part, it got used, and then when it was no longer needed, it was just kind of left there. Springbock's a fairly peaceful place. It doesn't really need militarization.
But perhaps take a quick look at it once we've had our little bite to eat.
Okay. I'd be up for that.
Little urban exploration.
Alright. So, I assume you just kind of sit down and kind of eat, but your eyes are probably focused in that general direction.
I mean, she's not going to be staring at it constantly.
Yeah, but you're definitely like the place of interest spotted.
It's on the back of her mind, yes.
Yeah. So, you and Veronica enjoy a pretty lovely lunch in this kind of later afternoon. Veronica does order some like ale and such, but doesn't get too heavy into it.
Yeah, she just wants a drink, not trying to get drunk here.
Yeah. I'd say you and her will probably spend about maybe an hour or so here before you kind of finish up. Is your plan to head straight over here to the fort and check it out, or do you want to use sending stones first?
I guess I will inform the party of my whereabouts, but otherwise it's pretty straight, like, line over there.
Okay.
Hey, just checking out this abandoned fortress together with Veronica. Just letting you all know.
That gets picked up to Aski, Vanya, and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
A ski is going to note this down, given everything that we know about the Ferals and them apparently having military history.
Yeah, as kind of a side-eyed glance at Charlotte as we hear that.
We should probably find that.
Keep a distance from Aset and Veronica, just so we're
Yes.
not all seen together.
Yes, we should find it and then just keep an eye on it.
A good time to teach you. And then Vanya's gonna talk about like how to place your feet properly when you're trying to be quiet, as we're walking over there.
You know, you remind me of my previous delving leader.
They were probably better.
Has more years.
And then you're gonna have to cast Ascending to get Vegas and...
Oh, I should do that.
Actually, is that gonna hurt your abilities at all?
It's worth making sure. I'm going to cast Sending to Vegas. Alright, I better click that. Wait. I cast Sending to Iset this morning. Uh-oh.
You only got the one?
I got one more after this.
Oof.
Oh. I'm gonna think on this. I'm gonna think if I'm going to do this or not. This was spelling the slot for the one for Isa. That's why I clicked it.
You should. It's a third level, we're fine.
I'm going to not send.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, I think he'll be all right. I think Isa would be wise enough to run if something's wrong.
So we find Vegas and Aspen and then make our way?
You're faster.
Okay, make your way. And then I'll get the other two.
All right, and I'm gonna just track down this fort.
And then I'll track down the other two.
All right. So, it's set. You and Veronica make your way over towards the fort. As you get a bit closer, something becomes a bit more apparent to both of you. The fort appears to be active.
Strange.
Veronica just kind of looks over, is like, I didn't think they would have any kind of military here.
That's very strange, yes.
As you start to get closer, just to kind of like get a better look, you do see that it is consistent of like two fairly large towers on either side, opposite ends, I should say, with a large central wooden gate. There are two guards posted out front, but they don't look like Ferals. They are a bit more mercenary-ish in appearance. Veronica takes a look and is like, I think that's the Thieves' Army.
Ah. Vegas knows how to talk to them, but I don't have a way of contacting him.
I
Let me
guess
just update the group on it, I guess. So I'm just gonna like use the sending stones again. Turns out the fortress is not abandoned. Not ferals though by the looks of it. It seems to be thieves' army. Veronica thinks it's a thieves' army there. Really strange.
Audible sigh. I'll tell Vegas.
Veronica just kind of like casually takes your hand and just kind of like you walk along the outside edges of the fort,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
acting like you're passing by, not paying too much attention to
We're
it.
just tourists.
Yeah.
We literally are right now. We weren't planning to actually stake this place out for any reason.
Yeah. Just on the initial pass by, you see the two guards on the front, and then that seems to be it. You don't see any guards up on the walls. You do see like the Thieves' Army banner on some of the
Yeah.
outer walls, so it's very obvious that this fort belongs to them.
Yeah.
Veronica also mentions in passing that maybe Vincent probably bought it up when it was decommissioned. So just
Makes sense.
another
They want
recruiting
this.
outpost.
Yeah, they wanted to buy Vegas' mansion. He said we'll mention as she like squeezes Veronica's hand a little bit.
The Thieves' Army are getting about. This doesn't seem outside of Vincent's playbook, so not exactly anything we can do about that.
Yeah, still curious.
But yeah, giving the entire structure a good once over. There is the single entrance, which appears to be a large wooden gate. Nothing really visible beyond that. There are a few outer windows, but there are very few, and they're like iron barred.
Suffice to say, I don't think either of us have any plans of like actually getting in there.
Yeah, it's fairly defensible as you would expect from a fort.
Would be a
But
really shittily designed fort otherwise.
Yeah, the activity though seems rather low. But you
Probably
and
just an
Veronica
outpost.
do a full pass and start making your way, not fully back to the hostel, but kind of like back towards like the restaurant area where you were eating.
Heading back in the general direction, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's it?
What do you mean? Out of character.
She's asking if you think that's the location.
Wait for the meeting, you mean, or
Yeah.
Bark? Sorry. I don't know. The Thieves' Army and Feral would have to be collaborating together. That is indeed their meeting location, which would be strange. As far as I'm aware, they are not particularly friendly towards each other, but who knows what might be going on under the table.
Maybe we'll need to do another look over. See if there's any activity when it gets dark.
Yes, it's the middle of the day now, like if there's nothing going on, keeping too many guards posted would just attract suspicion.
Okay. Wait for the others then.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Sorry this happened on our date.
That's fine. We're planning to go back to Pristana tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
Okay. So we'll still have time together.
Yeah. And once they're away from like the fortress a bit, she's just gonna like gently squeeze Veronica a bit and give her a kiss.
She just kind of like leans into you pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Vanya and Charlotte. Mm, yeah, give me investigation checks. Just see how quickly you find the rest of the party.
Oh God, no!
That.
Oh no!
Oh, we are scattered.
Iski, were you remaining anywhere in proximity to Vegas or Aspen? Or did you actually split off?
Yeah, no, I think she just outright split off from the rest of them.
Okay. So Vegas and Aspen, where would you two have wandered off?
You pick.
Wanda, there's food.
We're not still eating, are we?
I mean, would Vegas stop this? Because Aspen's not gonna.
Hmm. Yeah, I could eat.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty.
Alright, so you two are basically hanging out at the Bethel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Iski, where would you have gone off to? You wouldn't have gone to the lighthouse just yet, right?
No, yeah, no, not until. I mean, at this point, having received that very fascinating lead from Iset, probably stopping the search through the town proper, and probably trying to use the sending stones to at least be able to reconvene with those other three.
Okay. Yeah. Iset, I imagine, would have given the location of where Veronica and she was, so... eventually, the rest of you reconvene, without Vegas or Aspen.
Wait, where's Vegas and Aspen?
Because I was still trying to find them. So
I had lunch with them earlier, and then split off to do some searching around the town proper. Where they are now, I can only guess.
where did you have lunch?
I can direct them back there, which conveniently will be the start and end of our search, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to hurry. I'm not liking this.
So, eventually, the rest of the party reconvenes, finding Vegas and Aspen enjoying the hospitalities of the local Bethel.
Grabs Vegas. Iset might have found something. Move.
Yeah, I'll take a chicken leg on the go, but let's move.
We need to move now.
Yeah, headed our way fast, double time over to towards the direction Iset mentioned.
Love how you just grabbed Vegas.
Well, Aspen owes Vanya something, so
Huh?
There's an expectation there.
yeah.
Alright. So, you all head in the direction Iset mentioned, and you see the very sturdy, very large fortress that sits here. It sits in among most of the other buildings as well. So there are neighboring buildings, one-story buildings, that sit below the fort. So the fort does seem a little out of place for the most part. It's unclear what this area may have been prior. But it's getting to dusk at this point, and you do see some torches lit on some of the outer walls. But for the most part, it seems quiet.
Okay, do we think this is it? Do we want to check it out more now?
Do you want to go
I
ahead
think
and
it's
look?
only going to be getting more busy as we approach the meeting itself. This is our best opportunity.
I might have a chance to help, but I don't know what would be the right way to do it.
If this is just a thieves' army's fort, then I don't think we'll need your little thing right now.
All right.
I do have this, and she's gonna pull a grappling hook out of the bag of holding. I could maybe get up on the walls, have a ski come with me. She can just crawl up the wall. So,
I do have an idea for shielding our approach, at least as we approach the top of the wall itself.
I figured you could hide in the shadows you can make pretty easily.
Precisely.
And then I have this, and she's gonna flick the shift weave again to be the darker clothes she's got, but hanging around the neck is that iron mask that she's kept for a while, but it is covered in those runes that she's carved into it. That'll keep my face hidden. I can keep my tail wrapped around my waist or something. And it'll be dark enough that all they know is someone short is broken in. And if they do catch me, then I can just say I'm a prospective member. I want to join. And I thought sneaking into their fort might be a good idea.
That is a very risky thing to do. But I might have something to help you with
Hardly
that,
convincing.
as in case you get caught. You might be able to worm your way out with. Tell me, Vanya, would you want to be just quieter, or do you want to be a better liar?
I think a better liar would help more here. I don't think I can get much quieter.
I'm gonna put my hand on Vanya's shoulder, casting Enhance Ability, which thankfully I have ready. Touch spell. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Gonna be doing Eagle Splendor. So for the next hour, while concentrating, Vanya has advantage on charisma checks.
All right.
Nice. That'll help that +1 a little bit. So, anybody else want to try and get in there with us, or do you want to act as backup in case this all goes to hell?
I'm staying back.
I am also staying back. He just clutches Veronica's hands a little bit.
Looking to Vegas and Aspen.
It's tempting.
You could always try and go. Actually, you could probably get in the front door, but I want to try and be more. Seeing if I can find anything out of the normal.
Right.
But you're literally a member, right? So.
Yeah. But I worry. I haven't heard from the general in a while, and I fear this might be the next time I have to hear from him.
You're just putting off the inevitable if that's the case, and
All right.
it's a use. I hate to say it, but it's a really useful tool for us right now.
All right, but just know I'll die before I give up my house. Anyway, I'll go in.
Just kind of blink. Look to Ski. Are we good?
Let the games begin.
All right.
Puffs her little chest out and positions the mask as best she can.
All right.
It still doesn't fit very well because it's still not meant for her, but yeah.
Aspen's just looking lost.
All right, Vanya, you want to practice?
Just kind of stares, little kind of shining eyes from the mask. I'd rather just do it in the moment.
But what if you say something unbelievable in the moment? You got to be ready for this.
Now you're putting me on the spot and it's making it way
Exactly.
worse.
It's better than being on the spot when you're in it.
Yeah, for a minute, I'm better at making excuses.
All right.
It's kind of life or death. This is just you putting me on the spot.
Small doses.
Like venom. Yeah, okay.
Everybody ready?
So, Ski and Vanya, what side of the wall are you approaching?
What do you think? The
Yeah,
far wall?
what are the
So the two towers are opposite of each other, opposite corners, I should say, and the doorway is sort of in the center between them.
Okay.
It's a pretty regular box-shaped
Yeah.
port, though. If I had
Yeah, I
to,
would probably want to be.
if I had to say, the south side is the side with fewest windows.
I'd say that side then. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, so the plan here then is to get to the south side of the wall, spider walk, or at least start spider walking.
I'd give you the grapple to take up there for me so I don't have to throw it. You can just
Exactly, yeah.
lock it in
So,
place.
exactly. Once I am within like 30 feet of the top of the wall, I wish to use some of my font of magic, my sorcerer points, to completely silently cast a sphere of shadows, such that it is not like it is the tip of that sphere is kind of right around the top of the wall. Like most of the sphere is just kind of over the edge, so that if any guards walk by with their torch, they won't get suspicious about magical darkness. It'll just look like, yep, it's dark on, beyond the wall. Sure, that's fine.
Okay. All right. We will get fully into this fort venturing escapades with our next session.
Okay. Oh god.
But we have a starting point.
Yeah.
I can't wait to walk in the front door like, hey guys.
Hell yeah, date
Oh
ruined.
boy, this is
Oi,
and
oi,
really to
oi.
bring home the
This was my
Dragon
idea.
Heist vibe. We have started a new stealth mission, and I am leading a new stealth mission as a completely different kind of character to Dragon Heist.
Hey, you make stealth a hell of a lot easier for me.
It's just I have limited silent casts for Spear of Shadows.
We're gonna be
See,
lucky. We're gonna
I
have
can...
we're gonna have
Go
good
ahead.
skill rolls, and we eke out of it.
I can also give you the help action from range because you know my voice of speech, so your stealth can be at advantage every single time.
Heck yeah. And thanks to my dark vision, I am at a real advantage when it comes to producing darkness at will that others can't see through.
No light
So
vision.
yeah,
at
this is
least.
all very exciting, and I can't wait to see how it goes terribly, horrifically, mortifyingly wrong in the next session.
The best thing about all this is Iggy is 4 hours away.
Yeah,
that
that's
sucks.
the really fun part is Priest is going to be sitting at the table completely helpless to stop this.
I feel bad. That's too bad.
It'll be fine. Nothing will go wrong. We're too
We-
damn good at
Gotta
We
this.
will
say.
be.
Don't worry
it
about
will
it.
be quick and sweet. We'll be home to eat. It's simple as that.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's
I've got images of a set and Veronica kind of sat off at the side on a bench somewhere, just having a nice time, and everyone else is just like sweating bullets. Just
By the way, I have dropped.
making the best of the day that's kind of gone to shit.
I see the battle map.
I have dropped
Ah.
a outline of the fort, so you have an idea of what you're getting into. There's some windows. You can get peeks inside if you choose to.
Aw, yeah.
I'm going to skedaddle. I need to get some sleep.
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna
Night night,
join them.
everybody.
I need to go and take some medicine. Bye for now.
Please
Good
do.
night,
See
folks.
y'all
Like, with a
around. Have a good
Later,
night.
bye.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.